Hey, what's good, people? Whether it's at work, in between class, while you're working out, or sitting on your ass, I want to welcome you to the CharlieGtv Podcast. And we have a hell of a show lined up here for you today, right? It is September 30th, and it's a little cooler, but a little muggy. You know what I'm saying? Like, summertime, still trying to hold on a little bit. I want to welcome everybody on YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe. You know, your homie trying to drop clips every day and drop the pod every week. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about a lot today, all right? We're going to talk about some spring break stories, maybe a couple of drinking stories, a little bit about Nickelodeon, some crazy stories about a proctologist. But before I get into all of that, I have to introduce the lovely guest that we have on here today. Now, today, I'm happy to welcome a true multi-talent to the show. He's a respected wood-fired pizza master, a space campus alumnus, a charismatic liquor connoisseur, the son of a proctologist, a gifted athlete who competed at the collegiate level in lacrosse, and now he plans to take the comedy world by storm. Please give a warm welcome to the hilarious Hunter.
What's up, Carl?
Welcome to the
show. Dude, you mispronounced like half those words.
I did. You know what I'm saying? But I got through it.
All right.
Thank you for coming
on. Space Camp alumnus.
Yeah,
Let's get that one out of the way. Yeah. I'm the son of a proctologist.
Proctologist. All right, you're right. It's proctologist. Yeah. I was acting making it sound like the Octo Man from Spider-Man. Doc
anyway,
you know. But anyways,
it's all good.
Welcome on the pod, man.
What's up, dude?
Call it? We start the pod every episode with what I call the watch this week. Oh. So it could be a TV show, a movie, an anime. It could be a book you read. One guy recommended a book. You know what I mean? But just anything that you're watching, anything that you want to recommend to the people that you might have watched this week.
Okay, well, I do watch a lot of shows, a lot of movies. So there was one that I saw last week. It's a Korean war film, but it is not from our perspective. It is from the Chinese perspective.
Wow.
During Korea. It's a battle that I guess it really just highlights like how much of an army they are and how you don't want to fight them because they'll just fight to the end.
Yeah.
It's really good, but it's total Chinese army propaganda. So
yeah.
It's really good, but then at the end they're like, "Oh, China will rise again," and it's like, "Okay, no, I kind of don't like this."
It's total Chinese.
It's a really good movie. There's an American in it. He's my favorite character, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good film. It's a foreign film. You can find it on Prime. It's called The Sacrifice.
The Sacrifice.
Cool.
Is it in English or is it?
They dub it over.
They dub it over.
Good old Chinese. But it's kind of like Dunkirk. Like how it's the same like thing over and over and over, but from different perspectives at different times. So it hops around. At first, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, "Oh, this is like Dunkirk." So it's like, "Oh, this is the same event over and over, but from this guy's perspective, this guy's perspective, the American pilot's perspective." Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's dope. I really like that because they say history is written by the victor. So sometimes it's nice to get the other. Mm-hmm. Who were they at war with?
Well, I mean, we did lose.
So. What was that? Vietnam?
No. This is Korea.
Korean War?
Yeah, there's not a lot of. I mean, we ended in a tie. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We just ended up, but we were all the way up into China, and then they were like, "Nope," and then they came back and pushed us all the way back. So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's why there's North and South because we just met in the middle.
So the Korean War. I don't know a lot about the Korean War.
Yeah,
so I think
it's called the Forgotten War for a reason.
Wow.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned it at all in school growing up. I feel like
almost
they really
never.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's something that I don't like. You can't forget about war. People died, man. That's crazy. So I'm definitely interested in that. Shout out to Sacrifice on Prime. All right, you go check that out.
Check it out.
You know what I mean? I've been watching. Yeah, I don't know if I said this in the last pod. I can't remember, but it's the only thing I've been watching besides my computer screen is My Hero Academia. Even I just finished the last season of it. It's like an anime. You know what I mean, about superheroes and villains. You know what I mean? It's a really good anime. It really is. Okay. It's one of my top 5 ones. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a really great one. But I finished it the season that they had. You know what I mean? And I'm mad because I didn't really finish it. It's just that the last 2 episodes are in Japanese, and they didn't put the dubbed one on yet. And I just don't feel like sitting there reading it. I just don't want to.
You know, one of my favorite movies of all time is in Japanese, and I'll read the subtitles. I've seen it so many times. I don't have to read them anymore.
Wow. You just know what's going on. Yeah. I love that. So, yeah, shout out to the Japanese culture, man. They do create some beautiful cinema and media.
Shout out to 13 Assassins. Check that out.
Yeah.
Japanese version of 300.
Yeah, for real. And when it comes to Chinese fight. I used to love the kung fu movies back in the day, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, House of Flying Daggers, The Drunken Master with Jackie Chan. You can't forget that. You know what
absolutely.
I'm saying?
Love that movie.
I love that. You know what I mean? So anyway, first question we have up here: what was it like for you growing up? Was it a single parent household? Did grandma raise you? Do you have a lot of brothers and sisters?
Well, like? If we're gonna go down that road, I had a pretty nice, situation growing up. My father was a doctor, surgeon. My mother was a nurse. Unfortunately, when I got to high school, they ended up getting a divorce, but things were fine. We got past that. At one point, though, I did get kicked out of the house, and my grandmother did take care of me for about a minute.
Wow.
Which was kind of funny when I moved back to Pennsylvania. But, yeah. I mean, no, I had a pretty good, upbringing, Were
you born in Michigan?
No, actually, I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. Born in Pennsylvania.
York, Pennsylvania, just outside of Harrisburg.
Wow.
Yeah. So I moved to Michigan when I was 2.
Wow.
And, my dad found a better opportunity, so we moved to outside in Birmingham, and we just lived there. And, unfortunately, my parents got divorced. But, that was one of those things, It's like 50% of households end in divorce now. So it's like, I think it's more now, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Marriage today is not looking good. They're blessed to have been married at all.
No, honestly, it's like I don't want to get married. I'd like just a domestic partnership or something like that. Just be like, hey, if we're gonna have a kid, let's raise it together.
Yeah, that was. I think I might have had that question later on there, but yeah, I got you. But what you call it? What do you? Oh yeah, who do you look up to now, and maybe as a kid, like who was like maybe some of your role models, maybe growing up or so.
Role models growing up.
There's people you looked at and it was like I like this guy. People you were a fan of.
I don't know. I mean, if you want to talk about the Lions, by the way, let's go Monday Night Football. I was a big Herman Moore fan. He was a wide receiver for the Lions.
Awesome.
We had Barry Sanders.
I
liked Herman Moore better than Barry Sanders.
Wow.
So I had that, and then I'm trying to think. I mean, I've met some heroes, and we can talk about this in the fishing part. I know that's coming up later.
Yeah.
But I once went on a trip with this guy called Jim Teeney, who's world-renowned steelhead fisherman, fly fisherman.
Wow.
And I got to, go on a week-long trip with this guy.
Wow. So you probably learned a lot.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I wanted to study sharks. And there was this woman named Eugenie Clark who was like the foremost expert. I got to meet her at my future high school.
Wow.
Which was pretty cool. But yeah,
That's dope. So you wanted to swim with sharks? Huh? You wanted to be in that little cage underground?
I did.
Not underground, underwater?
In the water, yeah, definitely. I'd still do it.
That's dope. That's dope as hell.
I'd still do it.
I've always watched. I was a big avid fan of Discovery Channel and that type of stuff growing up.
Shark Week.
Yeah, Shark Week. Of course.
I was alive for when they started. Wow. I had Shark Week on VHS.
Wow.
We would record it off the TV.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was on
back in the 80s.
Yeah, really? It was
in the 80s, dude.
Man. Shout out Shark Week. Shout out them shows.
Shark Week's been around for so long.
I loved it. You know what I mean? Because I was a big fan of R.I.P. Stephen Irwin. You know what I mean? I watched so many of those shows and stuff. And also, part of what makes me like working in a factory now, even though it seems like a lot of people hate it, you know what I mean? But one of my favorite shows growing up was How It's Made. You know what I mean? So I was always looking at those things like they were so fascinating, like how they make this thing, every little process of it. And now I feel like my day job, I'm in a How It's Made episode every day. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that's super.
It's making doors. I'm not no one's gonna come there and film it or something. But
what's the most unique thing you know how to make?
There, I feel like all right, so it sounds simple, but it's kind of not. It's kind of complicated to do it. It's putting a shelf on the door, like because how they want you to do it, you have to like drill into the door 3 times, then drill into the shelf in the back of it, and you gotta put this epoxy glue around it, and you gotta line it up perfectly in the middle of that door. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, looking at it, it'll look off and everything. So putting on the shelf on the door was a hard task, and also doing pet doors, putting in pet doors. But pet doors are easier, but they're just satisfying. You put in a little pet door, think of an animal running through there, it's funny. You know what I mean? So installing pet doors and putting on the shelves is definitely the hardest thing that I had to learn how to do there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I actually used to, when I was in high school, I used to build sets for the musicals in the springtime.
Wow.
Yeah, so I build like half of a house just for a set.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool as hell.
Yeah. It was wild. It was like, I would do this, but then I also play lacrosse at the same time. So it's just like, okay, I got to leave now. Like, go to practice.
That's dope. That's really dope. That.
And then I was on a stage crew, so I would, like, be in all black when they had to, like, change scenes. And I'd run out there with no lights on, and, like, in the dark, and pull these sets off and then put them back, you know?
That's really dope, helping to change up the scenes and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
My buddy Colin, this was his favorite job he's ever had. It's sad that he lost it because of a girl. Don't let her, damn girls. Terrible. But, yeah. He was in a union for stagehand, like, the people that he always had this bad story about Beyonce because she was performing at Madison Square Garden, and his union was the people that were, like, making the set and had to make her. And apparently she wanted TVs in all of these weird places, and she wanted the whole dressing room to have cheetah print carpet all over the floor. Mm-hmm. And his team, there was only, like, one place with enough cheetah print material to make that carpet out of, and they were driving at 2 a.m. all the way across to this one tailor shop in New Jersey to go get it and bring it all the way back to lay it out so they could have everything ready. But just being able to do that job and, like, make the different sets and whatever stage configuration they wanted, they basically had to build on the spot. You know what I mean? So it was a really dope job. It was a really dope job. He loved it, and I wish I could have got a job like that, but I wasn't there. But yeah, that was that. There's nothing like, because you learn how to build anything. You know what I mean? Like, so set building is really dope.
Yeah, no, super fun.
Absolutely.
The one thing I did hate was painting.
Painting?
Painting.
Painting, of all the things in carpentry, painting is probably the thing I'm most good at. Like, I can install the drywall.
Painting's not carpentry.
No, it's not. It's not. But I mean, like, as far as, like, the whole repairman, handyman type thing. That,
gotcha.
Like, along that, between installing sinks or shower heads, right, or, like, fixing drywall and stuff. Like, painting isn't my favorite, but it's what I'm the most good at. Like, I'm most confident in charging someone on a paint job, just because specifically I've painted, like, a whole hallway with this stuff. And when I tell you that the hallway looked like these dry erase, but, like, no lines, no streaks, like, it just looks like just a clear, clean paint. You know what I mean? It was really hard. Because I get mad every time I see a wall that I see little drippity drips and look, it's bad technique. How much you paid him for this? Terrible.
I'm gonna have to come. You have to have you come over to my place and fix the bathroom real quick.
Yeah. I can paint my ass off. I really can. It's a technique with the rolling. You just gotta get a feel for it. You know what I mean? And you making it all dries in one piece. It's amazing. It's kind of satisfying, but the chemicals, you got to breathe it in. That's why I don't like it, because the smell of everything.
Absolutely.
I don't like breathing in all that stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah. So, it's the next question. Tell us about your childhood, right? Tell us about your time on Nickelodeon, man. Everybody from my generation dreamed of. We all wanted to get slimed. We all wanted to taste. This guy got to live my childhood dream, man.
I peaked early. I really did, honestly. Like, it was, So before I get into this, should I call my father and corroborate this?
I believe you.
Well, I mean, we can deal with it after.
Yeah.
We can deal with it after.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about this. So I was like 8, so that would have made 1992.
All right.
1992, we decided to go to Orlando, and we end up going to Nickelodeon Studios, and that's like the height, of Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
At the time, like,
that's all that.
They're blowing
back
up.
Then,
all of that. Yeah. All that. Mm-hmm. Rugrats. Like, you've got. Well, actually, I don't think Rugrats was out there, but you had Ren and Stimpy. You had Are You Afraid of the Dark? You had everything. Like, and Double Dare. Everything. So
I used to love that.
We go out there and we go to the studios, and they're giving us a tour, and they're like, "Who wants to be in a show?" And somehow, some way, my hyperactive little ass, just like jumping up and down with the Tiger's hat on, going bananas. They were like, that guy. So I was like, yes. Awesome, yes. So we went on the show. It's called Nickelodeon Game Lab. And I will share a little piece of information. I was not on an actual game show. It was not on television.
Okay.
I thought it was for the longest time,
but
I realized. It was not. It was something that they do on the tour. But you still get slimed with the slime.
You still get to experience the real Nickelodeon slime.
You're not on television.
No.
But you still get slimed. So we had this, crowd of about 100 people, And my brothers got to get involved, like help me with like the games and stuff. They had like these, stupid games. It's like throwing a bag through I don't know, water balloon launcher or something like that. Yeah, I forget.
They had the funniest
exactly.
games.
And then eventually they put me in a like kiddie pool and they dumped me with the slime.
Wow.
And
what does it feel like?
It's cold. It's cold.
I don't know why I didn't think it was cold. It's cold. All right.
It's honestly not pleasant. And and the best is they give you a jumpsuit before you go on. So you have a jumpsuit. Your clothes are in a locker, but I'm still wearing my underwear.
Yeah.
Right? And at the time, it's whitey tighties. I'm 8 years old. 8 years old. So it's whitey tighties.
Whitey tighties.
And I have this jumpsuit on, and they finally slime me. And I mean, it's a jumpsuit, so it kind of helps, but it still goes down the back of your neck. You know, it gets in there. And, you got to, they have like one shower in the back. It's like a changing room. There's a shower. And I'm not kidding. They have a barrel of just like slime-soaked whitey tighties from people from before. I threw mine in there too. Yeah. I was like, I'm not wearing these for the rest of the day.
Yeah, slimy underwear. It's crazy.
And I'm 8 years old. I'm like, God, oh my God. I just went free ball for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But let's get to the point. What does the slime taste like?
What does the slime taste like?
Do you know what the slime is? This is actually the slime. I know the recipe.
Wow.
It is matzo applesauce with lime green, like food coloring.
Yeah, but it looks like slime, though.
Exactly. They just put it in there, dude.
Wow. So it's really matzo applesauce?
It's applesauce. It was applesauce the whole time.
Wow. It looked like slime, though, but I guess
you put enough of the coloring in there, and it actually breaks it down more.
Wow.
It makes it like smoother but still chunky. Yeah. It's amazing.
How does it taste?
It tastes like applesauce.
Because I used to see them eat some.
Yes.
Yeah, you see them eat some of it.
Yes, I ate it.
You had to eat the slime.
I had to know. And I was like, it's applesauce.
Oh,
it's applesauce.
God. I've seen the Nickelodeon slime for sale a couple times on some shelves, and I never bought it. I never asked my mom to buy it because I was always like, that's not the same. That's not the real slime. I was always like suspicious of it. You know what I mean? But
no, it was definitely not.
Yeah, it's not the real slime. You know what I mean?
No, that was the go-to. They told me. I was like, because I needed to know. I was 8 years old and I needed to know.
Applesauce.
And
wow.
the best was they gave me a little certificate that said I got slimed.
Wow.
Because you didn't have like camcorders back then. You didn't have smartphones. You maybe had a picture on a Polaroid.
Exactly.
Something.
That's about it.
Like I had a thing. Show and tell.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I got slimed.
I got slimed. I was the most popular kid in school for like a month.
I'm telling you.
Back in second grade.
Yeah. That meant a lot in second grade.
Meant a lot. Really did.
Let me tell you, that's amazing. I really wish I could. It doesn't even exist anymore. But if it did, I as a grown man would be signing up to go get slimed. Let me tell you, I would.
Do you ever hear this story about how I brought that up about the golden years and Art asked me if I was touched?
Wow! Oh yeah, because they did say something happened with the Nickelodeon.
Because they had that whole problem with Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon is still around, but they had those guys, and it was back then too that they were like pulling up the young kids. Yeah. Oh jeez. When I found out about this, I was like, wait, what the hell did you just say to me?
Oh my God!
I was not touched, sir.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
How dare you?
It's messed up that.
But then I found out what happened. I go, oh fudge!
You got lucky.
And now you feel like, oh my goodness!
Now I feel ugly. Well, you ain't want to touch me. No, I'm joking.
Oh my goodness!
I'm joking. But yeah, man, that's amazing, man. There's so many kids my age that wish they got to get slimed. I didn't even know that it was in Florida. Man, if I'd have known it was in Florida, I'd have told my mom, listen, we got to make a trip.
We got to get that Spirit Airlines $19. Let's go.
For real. We got to go down to Florida. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know what I mean? But all right, so fast forward from the Nickelodeon slime. Who were you in high school? What kind of kids did you hang out with? Would you hang out with the nerds, the athletes, the popular kids, the goth crowd?
I was an interesting case because I got along with everybody. But I wasn't the most popular person, but I played sports. I was decent at them. But I also had friends. A lot of my friends actually went to my other high school in Birmingham, Groves, because my middle school which was in my neighborhood, they would go to both. So most of my class ended up going to my other high school. So I was more friends with people at the other high school than my high school.
So the same group you had in middle school, you sort of splintered off?
Yeah. But when I was in elementary school, like those are the people that went off to the other middle school in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So like then we all meet again in high school, and it's like, well, for the last 4 years, 3 years, you haven't seen you.
Exactly.
So it was kind of weird, but it was one of those things like playing sports, like especially with the lacrosse team. Like I played outside of like a school. It was just like our own team. We were just a team for a city.
Yeah.
And so I knew those guys from like fourth grade. So like
what was lacrosse like? Like I've only played it like when I was like, because the football, at some seasons the football team, we would split the field. Like half of it would be the football team practicing, the other half sometimes was the lacrosse team practicing.
Oh really?
So, but it was
where did you go to school?
In Queens, New York.
Oh, in New York. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
They only had girls lacrosse. They didn't have boys lacrosse.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, they only had girls lacrosse. Huh. But I remember picking up their things and trying to fuck with it, and I was just like, this sport seems really hard because I got this little thing to get it into. I got to do this one hook thing to get it. I'm like, I don't know if I could catch this thing.
You just got to practice, man.
It seems like something that would take a lot of hand-eye coordination.
So yeah, it does. It does a little bit. So when I first started the sport, it was in fourth grade. Literally, I was at my elementary school, and somebody came around and gave out flyers saying, "Would you like to try this new sport? It's lacrosse." And I went to my dad and I was like, "I would like to play this game." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm not gonna lie, lacrosse is kind of like hockey. It's expensive. So he obviously bought all the stuff for me, and I went out and I really liked it, and it was fun.
Did you guys have the pads on and stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so it's like the history of the sport is very fascinating, and I didn't know that for a while, probably at least into 3 years.
Yeah. Where did lacrosse start?
Lacrosse started with the Iroquois Indians in America.
Wow.
So it is a Native American sport. If you were to watch the World Cup of lacrosse, the Iroquois Nation actually has their own team.
Really?
Yeah, they're considered their own team.
I've never heard of Native Americans competing in anything ever.
And they are really good at it.
Yeah, it's their thing. It's their thing. They better be.
They're like the number 2/3 team. It's like it's kind of a round robin. USA, Canada, and the Iroquois Nation. And Canada, it's their national sport. A lot of people think it's hockey. It is not hockey. It is lacrosse.
That's their national sport.
It's their national sport.
So what would America?
Baseball?
I was going to say America.
Baseball is
okay.
Ours, or football. You could even say baseball is America's pastime.
That's what they say.
But football is probably our national sport. Mm-hmm. So, but lacrosse is Canada's national sport. Hockey's basically their pastime.
I'm about to say I've never heard of Canadian lacrosse.
Man. Dude, they're really good at it.
Like lacrosse and Canada, I feel like that's the first time I've ever heard those two things in the same sentence. I've never.
It's crazy to think, but it is considered their national.
I definitely think of hockey
sport.
when I think of
obviously, everyone does. It's wild because people, when I say that, people are like, "Are you crazy?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not. This is." Look it up. Just look it up.
Sometimes things change in popularity, like how baseball was probably way more popular back in the day than football.
But they were playing lacrosse before hockey. That's the point.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the whole northeast, like that whole area in upstate New York, Ontario, like Quebec, even through Detroit. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Also, fun fact, you know that Detroit was defeated by Chief Pontiac over a game of lacrosse.
Really?
Yeah. The French Fort of Detroit was taken over a game of lacrosse. Because the men went and played lacrosse, distracted all the guards, and the women snuck in with their goods, but their goods were weapons and killed everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the 1700s.
They used lacrosse as a distraction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can watch Last of the Mohegans. They're playing lacrosse in that.
What? Nah. Yeah. I gotta pay more attention to to the Native Americans. You know, so some part of me feels like they just almost like faded out of existence to a
you
degree.
know what? You know what bothers me? You know what bothers me? When people give me crap about like, oh, it's a rich kid sport. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
they weren't rich when they played back then.
Hockey, I can see is being more of cost intensive, but when I think of lacrosse, you got a helmet, a shoulder pads, the cleats, and a stick.
Yep. Well, you got shoulder pads and gloves, but like, it is expensive. It's kind of like hockey, but it doesn't have to.
To me, I will put lacrosse on the same level as football as far as expensiveness.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Only difference I got is a stick, really.
But the problem is like, you know, with like football, you go to high school, all your equipment's paid for.
Yeah.
You just have it. Like, if you could have lacrosse in more cities, like, we could have it be like, okay, we'll give you pads.
Yeah.
You know? Something like that. Like, when I went to college, like, I had my own pads, but they gave me pads too. Yeah. And I was like, oh, cool.
I remember that on the football team when they did that. I used the school pads, you know what I mean? I always wanted my own shoulder pads, and they had like different little helmets out, their own helmets, little Revolution helmets and stuff. They had all of that fancy shit, you know what I mean? I was just using the stock.
Right. No, did they give you the oversized ones?
Yeah.
Then I broke into the locker room and got some smaller ones.
Man. It was crazy. You know what I mean? I never had the. I remember the first time I had a fancy little pair of gloves that with a little sticky stuff. I was like, I'm lit with the little gloves. I remember the guys had the visors and all of that shit. Goodness. You know what I mean? I was just like, man.
Dude, we used to rock visors in lacrosse too.
Yeah.
Those tinted ones.
Yeah.
Man. That's like the ultimate as a defenseman. They can't see what you're doing.
Yeah, they can't see. Yeah. I used to want to advise us so bad. You know, part of me feels like it would have made me better as a football player to be looking how I wanted to look. You know, sometimes they say you look good, you play good. Sometimes they used to say that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I definitely went through that phase for sure.
I definitely wish I did. You know what I mean? So next question I have for you is, what was space camp like?
Ooh, well, space camp. Space camp was cool, but the funniest part about my experience at space camp was they were rebuilding space camp. Mm. So, like, our living situation was like a YMCA camp bunk. Mm. So they had, like, these weird little motel-like things. So there's, like, 50 of us in, like, one room just on bunk beds.
Just in a big...
And, like, sure, we got to do all the cool little things and this and that. But, like, we did, like, they were supposed to have a pool where you do zero gravity training, you know? Yeah, we had to go to the Mangrove Palace Motor Inn to do that one. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I was like, what? But I mean, we got to see like, you know, Cape Canaveral and like where they launched the space rockets and like how, like, finding out how they build the road to get to the launch pad. So the crawler that takes the space shuttle is so big.
I never thought about how they get the fucking rocket in position.
So they have a machine that does this, and it's bananas. It's so big. They have to reinforce the road because this is in Florida in like swamp country. Yeah. The amount of like, they have layers to it. It's like concrete, like 40 feet down, then gravel, then like this. So like they had so many layers just so it wouldn't sink into the ground. And it only moves 1 mile an hour because with the weight of the space shuttle on it, it can only move 1 mile an hour. Wow. And so it takes like a whole day for them to just get it to the launch
position.
Pad.
That's crazy.
Exactly. It's insane.
I never thought, and then they got to erect it.
Well, where they put the space shuttle, like the building itself, I forget what it's called, is literally like the square footage is bigger than like the Sears Tower, like because of it's so wide and it's not super tall, but it's super wide and it's boxy, but it's enormous. Yeah, and you're like, whoa. That's where they built like Saturn rockets. They built like all the rockets that went up. You're like, whoa.
That's amazing.
Now we got SpaceX, so I don't know where Elon Musk makes that stuff.
My question, all right, before I get into that, because I do have some questions about that.
I have no idea.
Do you believe? Just so that. Okay. Do you believe that we went to the moon? SpaceX alumnus, Space Camp alumnus.
Did we go to the moon? I feel like we did. I don't know if anybody got out of the ship
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that one. Because all the video I've seen, I don't know. I feel like the one video of the guy hopping around might be fake.
Video looks a little sus.
It looks a little sus. But, I mean, at the same time, though, like, you know, you learn about the moon. And, like, I think that the footage of them landing on the moon is real. But, yeah, like, or like the one guy that shot the golf ball.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll see. Whatever. I mean, like, we have the ability.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could go to the moon right now.
Sus. Like, that's my thing. Like, see, because, first of all, shout out to Elon Musk because for whatever reason, our investment into space travel after the moon landing hit a cliff, apparently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To the point where some private person had to build up the technology to do it. You know what I mean? To be able to do it. And it's so funny how they try to market it like it's dangerous. Oh, Elon Musk controls 2/3 of the satellites. But it's like, y'all had NASA before SpaceX was here. Like, why didn't y'all just use NASA to launch it? Oh, why? Because SpaceX is better? Like, how is one guy's company better than a government-funded institution? I don't know how America allowed SpaceX to go past NASA. You know what I mean? But when NASA wants to launch stuff, they go call SpaceX. You know what I mean? It's really crazy to me.
Yeah, I find that very hilarious.
Yeah, and it doesn't help the argument for it because honestly, as an American, I want to believe we went there, but as a person who loves science and technology, it doesn't make sense to me because every form of technology from 1960 something when we went there is better. Everything is the technology between now and 1960 is like night and day.
Yeah.
So how could we have not gone back to the moon in all of this time?
But also, I will throw this at you. The moon, there's nothing there. So why?
I don't know necessarily. We haven't done. I tell you why. Because number one, having a moon base to launch rockets from. Apparently, it would be way more cost effective and way easier if you were trying to get to Mars or get to somewhere else. If you were launching from the moon as opposed to launching from Earth. Number one, escaping their atmosphere and gravity is way easier.
Well, okay, you got to think about this. There's no oxygen out there, so how are we gonna ignite those rockets?
That's true. That's true.
Something I learned in space camp.
Yeah. You need oxygen for the.
You need oxygen for that. Like, there's a lot of reasons why you would not have a space base on the moon. Well, I mean, you could have a base, but like launching
to be able to launch it might be a little harder.
It would be a lot more difficult.
But we would just have to change our propulsion technology, probably.
It's true. I mean, look at like the space packs. They run off like nitrous. They just like that's how they move.
Yeah, it's true. So that's true.
But I mean, like you would need honestly. What the heck? I'm sorry.
It sounds like bananas over here. CNN. It reminds me of Sports Center. Yeah.
ESPN.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, no, you would need oxygen to to launch those. So it is like a big thing. Like you have to, and I feel like you'd have to have that for at least a prolonged amount of time.
Yeah.
Just to get out of the atmosphere. Yeah. Even though there isn't much,
there is still some gravity to escape for sure.
Yeah, you would have to do that. So that's. My argument right there.
They have to figure that out. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that gave me a lot more faith for space travel, but not necessarily for humans, but for the human race necessarily, because like robots are getting better and better. I keep telling people online, we're living in a sci-fi movie. Like
we're about to be Terminator.
Like yeah, for real, it's a wrap. Like we're living in a sci-fi movie. The robot that I've seen, you know what I mean? It's called the G1 robot. You ever seen it?
I have not, but I can imagine. Please show me.
I have to. Listen, everyone watching, do me a favor. All I typed in is G1 and it's right there. Do me a favor and go look up the G1 robot. Hold on. I don't want you to see this real quick. I don't want you to see the price.
You don't want me to see it?
I don't want you to see the price.
You want me to see the price?
Yeah. Because this robot is ridiculous. So just keep in mind, because when I show people at the factory this all the time. And the reason why I show them is because I'm sure this is coming for our job, being people in the factory. And I'm going to tell you why. The last robot they made was $150,000.
That thing learns how to make pizzas. I'm gonna kill it.
There's a.
I'm gonna be the John Connor.
Just watch.
End it.
So I want to show a couple parts in the beginning. Forget the flexibility and all of that. That's cool and everything. I want to show you kicking it.
That's AI,
keeping it. No. I promise you, it looks fake. I swear on everything. This is real footage, real robot. It's real. It's real. I promise. It's for sale right now.
I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
I'm telling you, it's the truth. So look,
continue.
He's trying to kick it, and now he's going to go punch it, and it's keeping its balance. It's keeping its balance. This is a real robot in real life, right? So the robot they made before this was $150,000, right? You see how flexible this thing is. Hang on. Show it with a stick. Yeah, you see it with a good mobility and movement. Okay. Now look. Now here's what's coming for your job, right? Got cracking walnuts, right? When I first looked at this, I thought that it like broke the Coke bottle, but no, it just unscrewed it really fast. It just unscrewed. It's not broken. Look, see it flipping stuff in the pan. That's coming for us. Flipping stuff in the pan on the.
Dude, this is AI.
I promise you, this is
I don't believe a single.
You don't want to
bit
believe,
this.
but this is. Look,
I'll see it in real life.
When I showed people this
I don't
part,
believe that shit.
Because a lot of my job, what I do is with a staple gun and stuff. When I showed them this video of them of this thing soldering, using a soldering on something in original speed, it was like what? And here's why they had it. I was worried about it. Now I asked them. Everyone always goes in the same direction, but look, the last robot they released before this was $150,000.
Okay,
I'm not worried about a $150,000 robot because to me that's a big investment for companies to have to buy and train $150,000 on a robot. Guess how much this robot costs?
Let me guess. Since you're saying that, probably $75,000.
That robot you just saw is $16,000.
What the fuck? That's AI.
No, I'm telling you, this is a real company. $16,000 for that robot?
No way.
You mean what they pay me in a year? They could buy 2-3 of these things?
That's bullshit. I don't believe that.
Yeah, you don't want to believe that.
I don't want to believe that. I will not believe that.
Yeah.
Until I see that, I am not believing that.
I'm telling you.
I will not.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Until I see it out there, not believing it. No
16
way.
grand?
No,
that is a threat. $150,000. All right, they're not going to invest in that. 16 grand, they might just buy a couple.
Well, yeah, if it's 16 grand, they'll totally buy that. Are you
we're
kidding me?
Fucked.
Nah, we're fine. Because that's bullshit. It's not real. I don't believe anything you just showed me.
Yeah,
we are fine. But if that was true, fuck.
Yeah, 1.1 million views.
That is not
real.
What
I mean? Yeah,
that is not real.
Bro, $16,000.
No way.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You are caught in the internet sphere.
I'm telling you.
You got to stop looking at these things. That's not real, dude. That's AI. Like, I got caught up some AI, recently, and I was just, oh man, I'm like, nah. Oh.
Well, Unitree is a real company that really does robotics.
Okay,
like
well,
I said,
whatever.
Their last robot was $150,000, and they said that they want their next version of this to be around $10,000. So they're working on making it cheaper and cheaper. So when I saw this, I was like,
what?
I was like, we have to kill them now. We have to fight them now. We have to find a factory, burn it down, destroy the developers.
Shit, that just sold Brian Day my crossbow.
I'm telling you, man, because that 16 grand, man, I want one. I was thinking so much about, I need another cameraman. Who am I going to get to work with me on these shoots? Now they got my cameraman right there. He go hold it.
Oh, look, it's the robot.
Yeah.
But then the robot has dirty thoughts. He's like, I will kill you.
Yeah.
5 years from now.
I'm telling you, the idea I had, I don't care, I'll say it, because even I think it's $1 million idea, multi-million-dollar idea. I would buy a big truck, start a moving company, and buy a couple of these guys. All of a sudden, my movers that are moving heavy things, they never get tired, their back never gets thrown out, they never need sick leave, they never need now I have a crew of robots lifting things up and down. It's a moving company, gonna make it so I gotta have them
robots moving tote box.
Yeah, moving couches, moving whatever you like, helping you move like a moving company. Except it's a bunch of robots working for me instead of like humans. You know what I mean?
Sure, but then you go to what was that Will Smith movie?
iRobot. We're about to live in it. Give it 5 more years, we're gonna be living in it. At $16,000, that's crazy.
Well, we don't need that. That's the worst part.
That's crazy. And Elon Musk's robots are like slightly less advanced.
Elon Musk is a robot.
Yeah, he might be an alien of some kind. But Donald
Trump probably paid for him.
Elon Musk, he has the Tesla bot. I don't know how much they cost. I think they might cost maybe 25 or 20,000, maybe 30, somewhere around there. He wants to get them below. Elon Musk said he wants to make 1 billion robots. He's making it to make 1 billion.
First of all, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, but he already manufactures Teslas. So the idea of him building a robot,
I understand that.
So it's like,
but if you first of all, no, that can't happen. They'll have to. They'll have to fucking do something about that.
Yeah.
He can't do that because, first of all, we already have too many people on this earth.
Exactly.
And he wants to build 1 billion robots? No, fuck that.
Like, who's going
to... let's go to war with Elon Musk.
For real, man. He's trying to kill us, man.
Trump daddy, where you at?
So Elon Musk said that if it's sold for $20,000 each, he can make $1 trillion in profit annually. Musk has stated that the cost of the robots could be around $10,000 each at high production sales. So he wants, I guess right now it's at 20 G's. That's literally what Google's saying.
Also, I'd like to point out I am not a Trump supporter. I just said that because of a Shane Gillis quote.
I'm voting for Trump.
Oh, all right. I'm going to tell you right
now. I'll tell you right now. I'm voting for Trump.
I might vote for Batman. I'm not going to lie. Like, seriously. Like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that $20,000 right now. He's saying he want to get down to 10. These robots, man, they're coming for. I was joking with my friends. I made this joke. I could come up with a whole bit on this, but I was.
Can we get away from this?
All right. I was talking about robot racism. Like, it's time to be racist towards the robots, right?
Hey, you know what? United we stand.
Yeah, humanity.
United we stand.
You know, I was making crazy jokes.
Fuck the robots.
Yeah, I used to not like black people, but at least they're people. Now we got these robots.
They're called robos now.
Yeah,
they're robos now.
I was trying to make fuck
those robos.
Yeah, damn clankers. I was trying to make slurs for the robots.
Bots.
Yeah,
those bot bitches.
Yeah, I was joking. I was like, imagine a robot telling you. I was like, imagine a robot telling you, my name is Bob. You're not Bob. You're a robot. I'm calling you robot. I'm not calling you Bob. I'm not calling you Bob, Ralph, nothing. You're a robot. My name is Kevin. No, your name is Robot. Like,
what up, Tin Man?
Yeah, for real. That's about the best.
That's
about the best you get in this Tin Man, for real.
What up, Tin Man?
Anyway, it's just crazy, man. Shout out to the robot. I was saying, I brought that up because of space travel. The whole reason that we're trying to say it's hard for us to do space travel because some sort of radiation belt thing that'll mess up our DNA or whatever. But if we got robots like this that are smart, merged with AI, we can definitely send them We've already sent the rover to Mars or whatever the hell. We could just send something like this that can build whatever base we want or whatever. If you could send these guys.
I agree with you, but here's the deal: we can't give them the AI that we have nowadays. That's what scares me. Like the AI nowadays.
It's getting very good. It's getting very good.
It's getting weird.
That's what my only hope that I had
it's getting weird.
To keep my job was that I always felt like robotics wasn't advancing as fast as AI was.
I mean, look at the automotive companies.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I saw the machines that were replacing those guys.
Yeah.
When I was 8 or 9. Like, I went to the Ford plant in Pontiac, or it was Chevy plant or something, whatever. But I saw these machines, and it's they replaced the assembly line. So, and they're just claws that go burp, burp, burp.
Yep.
Burp, burp.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So,
this thing that's holding a solder thing, to solder something. Look, if it could solder something, it could hold a staple gun and staple something together.
Oh, absolutely. Totally can.
So, and that's what I do. I put it in the brick mold. I staple the frame together. A lot of the frames and door putting together is just staples. A lot of staples and screws. It can staple and screw some things together. You could probably expect the gadget to make his whole hand a staple gun or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I don't know. I see these things and I'm like, yeah, I got to start a business. I got to get on top of it because my job is. But I will say, I do feel like the cooking field is one of the last. As much as I'm mad at them for not having the right benefits or whatever, it's gonna be a long time before robots have taste buds. I don't know how they would ever work that out. But being able to taste and go, needs more salt, needs more this. Yeah, it's gonna be a long time before robots can
Carl,
do that.
you have that at work, so
yeah. I got
that one.
I got that. That's the one thing I got. You know what I mean? A lot of culinary skills I'm lacking, but I do have good taste buds to be able to taste what is going on. So, next question I had: you played sports in high school against a previous podcast guest, Fadi. You made a critical play in that game. What happened there? Tell us more about it.
Here we go. So I'm going to look at the camera right now.
You're looking at Fadi.
What's up, Fadi? We talked about this once before. You don't believe me. But yes, back when we were seniors in high school in 2003.
1700 BC. I'm joking.
Fadi played at West Bloomfield High School. I played at Seaholm High School in Birmingham. And we played each other. And I started that game as the nose guard. I had a particularly awful game, not to lie.
Yeah.
But it came to overtime. And
I'm sorry.
It came to overtime. And there was a point where they were going to kick a field goal and win the game. And being the starting nose guard, I'm right there in the middle.
Yep.
And I tried to rush to the middle. It didn't get through. They kicked the field goal. And at that point, I thought they'd won. They made the field goal. Everyone's rushing the field. All this crap. I took my helmet off, threw it on the ground because I was pissed. Everybody on my team, like out on the field, runs up to me and goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? We just lost the game." They're like, "No, there was a flag on the play. We have to do it again."
Yeah. Hopefully a false start.
And I was like, oh crap. I put my helmet back on. And then me and Matt Melko, we ran up the middle. We busted through that line and we blocked that kick.
Oh my God.
And we went into a second overtime. And the funniest part was I got benched because I took my helmet off.
Wow.
Because I could have cost my team a penalty.
Yeah, that is.
So,
they don't like that.
So I got benched. I was a starter that game.
Wow.
But I had a horrible game. So Fadi, I'm glad that you're a coworker of mine. I love you. But me and Matt Milko, we had hands on that ball.
We had hands on that ball.
We came up the middle, dude.
Yeah.
We blocked that. And if it wasn't for one of your guys jumping off sides or false start, you would have won the game.
Yep.
But, yeah, I got benched for the whole second overtime.
Oh, man.
And then the next week I got hurt. Not even in practice. I was out for like 4 games.
4 games?
Yeah.
4 games? Mm-hmm. Oh, because you got hurt. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I finished my career in the last game, but I was out for like 4 weeks. I probably would have started more.
What you got hurt on? What happened?
Oh, I had an AC separation. So it's kind of actually. You want to hear this story? This is kind of dumb, but hilarious.
Shoulder injuries suck, from what I hear. It's like a ball and socket joint. There's so many.
So I had an 3rd degree AC separation. So here's what happened, and this is my fault. I'm an idiot. So I was at this point, I'm a starter on defensive line. And they were doing drills for kickoff and return teams. So it was,
I hated special teams in football.
Well, I was the king.
Because the biggest collisions happen on special teams.
Well, that this is where I'm going.
Yeah.
It was bad. Anyway, so I was the king of special teams on my team. Like I was the man.
Yeah.
I had already had one.
So you was a hitter. You must have been a hitter.
Oh, I was a hitter.
Yeah.
I was wedge buster.
Wow.
Yeah, you know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have those anymore.
Yeah, would they have?
You're not allowed to do that anymore.
To wedge, you're not allowed to wedge.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
They used to have those guys hold the
But I would be the guy that blow through that.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was also the breakdown guy. Like,
yeah. I used that. But that's one of the things I miss most about football was before football. Who house is this? What time is it? Game time. I swear to God, when we was done, I was ready to run through a fucking wall, bro. I swear to God.
No, I feel you, dude.
How hype I used to get with that shit. Oh,
I used to get hype.
Any dogs in the house? Ooh, I used to go so hard. I'm telling you, football. I feel like
so.
Go ahead.
I have to tell a story before I go back into my story. But in lacrosse, one of the things we did when we won the state championship, my junior year, we were top 10 in the country, and we'll get into the other story that we're going to talk about later. But one of the things we used to do was just come on the field, and then we'd all get into a circle, and we'd have our sticks in the air, and it was like Braveheart. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo. Dude, it would terrify people.
Yeah.
And then we just go out and just murder them.
Yep.
This is awful. This is like, you're done now.
Yep.
Win. Anyway, so I decided after, that game that there was this, I don't know, there's this kid that was talking shit to me, and he was on return team, and I was a starter at this point, and I decided I'm going to go out scout team, kickoff team, and take his ass out. The only problem was, as I'm going down there, I realized that our starting tight end, who's about 100 pounds heavier than me, who's like, all state, it's like, he's going to hit me before I hit him. And I was just like, well, I ain't going out like no bitch.
Yeah.
I hit him. Like, we hit each other. And he's 100 pounds heavier than I. Dude. I completely separated my shoulder, like a third-degree AC separation.
Jesus.
I knocked him out. It was an awful situation. I should have never done it.
Yeah.
It was dumb. Just dumb stuff. It's like, this kid's talking. Like, the kid that I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but my buddy got in the way.
Yeah.
So it was terrible.
That's crazy. Yeah, the special teams I was never a big fan of. I had to learn how to hit, though. The special teams taught me how to hit because when I was first hitting, especially in that, I had a bad habit of, like, I would go sideways like this into you. You know what I mean? And what happens when you do that, it creates a lot of pressure like this, and I began to feel pain in my collarbone.
Yeah, you got to always go to the shoulder.
Yeah, so I learned I had to square up and had to, like, hit like this as opposed to turning like this. I had to, like, level it but hit you with the top part of my shoulder, like hit you like that, you know what I mean, as opposed to completely turning my body sideways, you know. So I had to learn to not do that because otherwise I'd have crushed my collarbone and doing that. But it was always the heaviest collisions in special teams. That's why most people wasn't you got to put something in it. Nah, that's why most people wasn't a fan of the special teams, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the kickoff rule. I mean, they changed the kickoff rule because of this stuff. Because, I mean, what's funny, I have one practice where my coach that year, he does the drill. It's like starting kickoff versus scout kick return. And I get the tackle. And they do it again. I get the second tackle.
Yeah.
They do it again. I get the third tackle.
Wow.
And then my coach goes, if Hunter gets his tackle one more time, y'all are going to run.
Run fast.
And you know what? Here's the best part. I ran down there. I blew through the wedge. The guy got by me.
Yeah.
But I chased him down and I got it.
Wow.
And everybody ran and I just stood there and I laughed. And everyone's like, fuck you, dude. And I'm just like, I don't care.
You guys all could have done it. You guys could have
done it.
You could have got there.
You could have done it.
I'm telling you, man. Football is a hell of a sport, man. But I feel like every guy should, like, play at least maybe one season of it, just because you never get to feel like that level of aggression, that level of violence, that level of unleashing.
I mean, unless you. Well, I had a best friend that was a Gold Gloves boxer.
Well, but boxing, combat sports, combat and martial arts will do it too. You know what I mean? Because you get to release that. But just the feeling of, like, it's barbaric. If you've never played it, you can't imagine it.
No.
You train in your body. You get in the weight room. You're getting your body as strong as you can, in the best shape as you can, and then you're running full speed as fast as you can at another human, and you're like,
oh, dude.
Like, that's just crazy.
I used to just run and dive at people.
Yeah.
Like, there was one game where I totally got concussed. And I didn't know.
I've seen a white flash hitting people before.
I dove in this. I took the guy out, but his knee went into my helmet.
Yep.
And then I was supposed to go on the field, but I was just standing on the field, and, like, you were screaming at me, and I just didn't even realize.
Yeah, you got your,
like, what's going on?
Your bell rung.
Like,
I know what that's like.
What?
It used to be bad. I used to not want to say nothing because they would take you out the game a little bit. But my coach would always wonder why.
Yeah. Well, you're younger than me.
Yeah.
So, like, back before that, how old are you?
30.
Dude, 10 years older. Dude, 10 years before you? Dude, you just got a stinger?
Yeah.
Dude, they wouldn't take you out of the game.
Yeah, they would. But my coach would always wonder why. And he asked me one time, too, he's like, why you always do so good the first half of the game, then the second half of the game, you don't be doing so good? I'd be like, I don't know to tell him. But what happened was I felt it in the second half, especially fourth quarter. the ball would go hut, and people would turn into blurs. Okay, I'd go hut, and people would be like, I'd be hard for me to keep up with what's going on because I done been banged so many times the first and two. But the first quarter, fresh, second quarter, I'm in there. Boom, doing my thing because I can see it, I can keep up. But third, fourth quarter, my brain's like, listen, bro, we're swimming. I'd be like,
so
I couldn't do it.
You'll get this. So the reason I became the wedge buster in high school on my best team my high school's ever had, the reason why I became that is because my JV year, we played, I think it was Hazel Park. And like this kid, I was on kickoff, and I wasn't big at the time. Like I was still kind of small. But I ran down there, and I hit him so hard, it just jacked him up and knocked the helmet off my head.
Damn.
And everyone, and like I kind of blacked out.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, what? Huh? Like I got up, and everyone's just like rallying around me, like, oh yeah, you did it. And I was like, hell yeah, I did. Hell yeah. And I took my helmet, and I spiked it on the field.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And they're like, you can't do that. And everyone just like cleaned up and stuff and got me off the field. I ended up getting special teams player of the game.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Like I hit that guy
Special
so
teams
hard.
is a motherfucker. The guys that are good at special teams are goddamn monsters, all right? Because you just build up so much momentum.
Yeah,
like,
it's because we're special.
Yeah.
We're kind of stupid in the head.
Yeah.
We're a little special up here.
I always wondered when I used to get hit, because I never been fully concussed, but I remember I damn near had it. I remember one day, I used to get the worst headache sometimes after the game. I remember this one time I had such a bad headache, I could literally hear the water running in the pipes in my house. But anytime someone washed their hands and they washed, and like I literally had that thing where I kept the blanket over my eyes, 'cause literally I couldn't take any light. You know what I mean? I just couldn't take any light, and I could hear everything in the house. No matter what, I was hearing everything, and it was a horrible headache. It's one of the main reasons why I didn't play my senior year, because I was just like, I was tired of the headaches. I was tired of the, yeah.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was really tired of the headaches. You know what I mean? That's why I couldn't.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got concussed a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a guy in high school. He's really good linebacker. He lived behind my best friend. He's Mormon.
Yeah.
Mormons.
That's funny.
But he was really good, Mike Barton. And he got like 9 concussions, like 1 year. 9. And it was like, you're done now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never like I said, I've never been fully knocked out. You know what I mean? But I knocked the kid out one time, and I remember one time that he left the game after I hit him. You know what I mean? Like he was done for the game. But I remember when I hit him, I remember seeing just this white flash in the moment of that impact, you know what I mean, and hearing like a high pitched sound, you know what I mean, like.
Oh, I know.
But I hit him. I won because he was on the ground and I was standing up.
We'll get to the lacrosse story.
You know what I mean? But I was just like, yeah. And then later on when I learned about because I know the best guys on the football team were fucking misfits in the school, bro. Growing up, they were always lacking discipline, had daddy issues and some shit. They had some chip on their shoulder, something in there. And I always used to wonder, because they would hit harder than me and they would seem fine. And I always wondered why is my brain swimming and your shit just like lock you Gucci looking like, you know. But a couple of them I know 2 of them went a little crazy after high school. Went a little crazy.
CTE, dude.
Yeah.
CTE.
And the other part about it is like a lot of the best kids on my football team were playing Pop Warner, like when they were like 10, 11. Before, so by the time they got to high school football, they already been playing for like 8 years. You know what I mean? Like banging around. Then they get to high school and they're good at it because they're used to it. But some of them didn't really make it to college. You know, I had one guy on my football team. Shout out Fatu Kasi. He actually he made it to. He was drafted by the Jets.
Oh,
he was drafted.
Nice.
He was drafted by the Jets, and that's great because he made a New York team drafted by the. He made the paper.
I played against several NFL players.
Yeah,
from Michigan.
But he was a big fuck though. He was built for it. This big African motherfucker. He was kind of built for it, but he had the work ethic.
Do you know who Gabriel Watson is?
No.
He played for Southfield back in 2002, senior. He went to Michigan. He got drafted by the Cardinals.
Wow.
I was special teams captain of the week that game during 2002, our best high school team ever.
Wow.
It was bananas. I walk up to him. He's like 6'7". I'm like, hello, Mr. Watson.
Yeah,
hello.
for real.
And it's like this man went to the Cardinals, and then like later we get the playoffs and we play Lamar Woodley, and we lost that game.
Yeah,
that was at home too. It was awful. Terrible. But I mean, the refs kind of threw it. It was bullshit. But
sometimes I worry about the refs.
We could make all the arguments you want, but we got our ass kicked basically.
It always bothered me that even at the professional level, like a lot of these refs aren't full-time refs. They're like a ref and a lawyer, a ref and a this or a that. And it's like, dog, you're not paying them enough to just be a referee? Then of course they're going to probably do some betting or bribes or something.
All right, let's go back to lacrosse for a minute.
Yeah. Because lacrosse
I want to talk about those
refs.
I want to talk about those refs.
Lacrosse
First of all, those refs are way less qualified. Like they probably have way lesser jobs than being a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember in college, I had my high school like lacrosse coach as a ref, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like,
"That's crazy.
I'm gonna penalize you like 4 times." I'm like, "Well, don't do that."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, then don't be an asshole." I'm like, "Well, I'll try not to." Like, please.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It is what it is.
But lacrosse has some banging too. That's why I was mad. They only had a female lacrosse team in my high school. They didn't have a male lacrosse team, but I guess they figured they already had football, so they don't need to,
Well, lacrosse, lacrosse, especially like going from a team when I was in high school, my junior year, that was top 10 in the country. We were top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we were
top 10.
We were pretty sweet. Like just destroyed
in the
people.
Country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all murking shit out there.
So I went to a Division III college, after a kind of crappy senior season, which unfortunately half my team got suspended for about 7 games. Well, we'll deal with that later with the spring break thing.
We'll
deal with that one.
I see that.
But yeah, we were good, but it's just like, But when I was junior, just being on that team, just like watching basically a college team, destroy high school teams, like it's so fun.
It's amazing. So tell me about your experience. You had you said you were the most pencilized lax bro.
I'm sorry, you said pencilized. Let me
penalized.
Penalized.
Yeah.
Penalized.
Hey,
penalized.
That's what I've seen on there.
We can go either to jail or to the field. And a penalized.
The most penalized.
Most penalized lacrosse player apparently.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Penalized. So my senior year, I was a starter, and before I went, into that season, I went on a recruitment trip to the college that I ended up playing for in college.
Yeah.
So Susquehanna University, Division III college.
Okay.
I wasn't big enough to play Division I. I didn't have the skills, but I could play Division III, no problem.
Yeah.
So I went there, and I remember meeting my coach, and he was like, if you don't average 1 penalty a game, you're not working hard enough.
Wow.
This is the worst. I would like to say this right now. This is the worst advice you could ever give a kid in high school.
I'll tell you some crazy advice my college coach said. He said, listen, my high school coach, he said, if you're ever out on the field and you don't know where the play's going, you just hit somebody, put someone on their ass, all right? You're going to make a mistake, make an aggressive mistake, all right? Put someone on their ass.
But that's actually good advice. That's actually good advice.
Like, you're gonna make a mistake, just lay someone out. All right, if you know what's going on, just find the other color and lay them out.
So my senior year, I'm sorry, hold on one second.
Yeah.
So my senior year of high school, I ended up I was the first half of the season. I'm not getting a lot of penalties, but then all of a sudden we go to Hilton Head. And spring break, and everybody gets caught busted drinking, And I was not one of those people, and we'll get into that story later. But what's kind of bullshit about it is because the last year we had the same deal. We were going to Hilton Head. The coach just, he turned a blind eye. Yeah. But this new coach came in and he was like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not going to let you guys, like, do this. I was like, dude, come on, man.
Loser.
Come on, dude. Like,
he's performing well. It's obviously not hurting the performance.
We were really good. Like, we were like,
let him rock a little bit.
We were like 10-2 or something like that. We finished 12-10.
So one of your own coaches snitched on your own team and got your own team suspended?
Well, he didn't. He wasn't. So I don't think I should talk about this actually because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. From the previous year,
the statute of limitations is like 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
I feel like if somebody finds out about what I'm about to say, well, I'm not going to talk about what happened the year before, but yeah, we were basically busted. And like half of our team got suspended. The good players.
While
Yeah.
Of course, because the good players are always the ones that's a little rowdy. Come on, man.
But also, I was in violation too, but I didn't get caught, which is kind of fucked up. We can get to that story later.
So was it your own coaches that caught you? Because I don't imagine who else would catch the team celebrating or doing a little partying on their own like turf. You know what I mean? Like who?
It was no. We were on spring break. We're in Hilton Head, South Carolina. So we have these condos, right? And like you're in there with 8 other dudes. And it's like you have your own condo. But there are chaperones.
Yeah.
Chaperones. The coaches are there.
Yeah.
This and that. So something gets found out and it's like, oh, and then like I remember they came checked my place. And I was like, we don't have anything here. Because actually, at the time, I was a pretty chill guy. Like, I didn't do a lot of drugs or drink or anything like that.
Yeah.
However, we'll get to that other story later. Yeah, but I knew that there was a rager going on at the other condo.
That was my next story, by the way. Some spring break stuff. So I guess you hit on that perfect.
We'll get there.
Perfect. I mean, my next. Yeah.
So I call the other condo, and they're younger than me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, they're coming. And they couldn't hide it quick enough. They got caught. You're high school kids. You're out on spring break. You're having fun. You're living in condos that your parents are fucking paying for.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a fake ID. We're having fun. They're already dropping us off at the beach to pick up girls. They're letting us bring girls back to the condos.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Come on.
Let us live a little bit. That sounds like a great time. I should have played lacrosse. That's what I'm hearing. No, it didn't happen like that in New York, man. I
get it.
Liability to a lot more kids. My high school had like 3,000 kids in it and shit. So, whatever, I understand. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a spring break. When we had something about a bong on a spring break, you know what I mean? I remember that in the notes, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so let me explain that story because this is where I was explaining. So, like I said, and actually, I will tell this story before I get into this story. So, on that particular night, we ended up getting back from the beach. We're all hanging out. And the coaches come by and do like a house check.
Yeah.
Make sure you're there,
check, yeah.
So we knew they were coming. We didn't have anything in my place. Well, actually, wait a minute. I thought they were going to come like later. That's what happened. So I'm in this place with like 6 other guys. So I got my own room because I'm a senior. Like I got the master suite. And then like my other like seniors over here. And then all you stupid like juniors and sophomores can figure out this betting situation downstairs. So stupid fan.
Yeah, it's the fan. It's the fan a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's all good.
It'll be okay.
It's all good.
It's funny how it just keeps blowing close and close to the edge of the table. Yeah, it's safer. It's safer. Got nowhere to go.
It's way safer. Anyway, so
juniors.
We are in this. We're just chilling. We're actually playing like Halo stuff. Wow. Like we're chilling. Like, and like one of the things is like, so I'm a senior, but I don't really smoke a lot of weed, and I don't really drink a lot. But I did bring a bong down to Florida. I'm sorry, Hilton Head, not Florida. Hilton Head, South Carolina. I brought this. I snuck it in a saltine tin. That was the funniest part because my coach went through my bag before getting on there.
Yeah,
he saw the saltines and didn't even check it. I was just like, yes,
yeah,
like nice. But I didn't bring any weed because I'm not deep in that game.
Yeah,
I've only just started smoking pot, and it's only with like my one other roommate, and we didn't have any weed. We had a guy on the team that had weed. Hey,
he did his job. We did ours.
Hey, Jerome, come over, dude. White guy, by the way.
That's funny as shit.
Hey, Jerome, come over and smoke a bong. And we smoked a bong.
That's funny as hell. I was sure there was no white people named Jerome.
No, they exist. They exist.
Jesus.
They exist. They exist. And he does not like the fact that his name is Jerome either.
I'm sure he doesn't. Not going to help me on a resume.
And he also doesn't like me either. But, apparently not, but it's not important. It's some dumb chef shit. Anyway. So yeah, we smoke, he's over in the condo that all the bad stuff's about to happen.
Yeah.
But he comes over and we smoke bong. And I'm like, all right. So I'm hanging out with the nerds over here playing Halo.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden here comes my two coaches and they're doing like check and then they start like looking around and it's like super weird. Like the one coach sits down and is like talking to us like, hey, how you guys doing? You guys doing all right? And I'm like, yeah. Like, where's this going? And like you see the one coach in the background,
paranoid
in the background, like just opening cabinets,
and
you're like, what the fuck is he looking for? And then they go upstairs, and I'm just like, and like
they'll probably smell it. Maybe
no. The best was so wait, trust me, this is really good.
But you guys are probably smoking regular weed back then.
We smoked outside. Stuff. We smoked outside.
Smart.
So we weren't.
Smarter.
There was no smell in the house.
Perfect.
This is great. So the one coach goes up there, and I'm like, instantly I'm thinking, oh no, the bong is literally sitting in the middle of the floor, and there was a pile of clothes. I'm not gonna lie, there was a pile of clothes. So I'm like, oh fuck, it's right there. It's literally in the middle of the floor,
in plain sight.
In plain sight. And so the one coach comes up, he's looking around, I guess, and then he goes, hey Deco. That's the other coach. Come up here real quick. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And he gets up there. Dude, seriously, you have no idea. You have no idea. I'm like this. And then everybody looks at me. And he goes, half of them don't smoke weed. But the one other guy goes, dude, where's your bong? Where is your bong?
Upstairs.
And I go, it's in the middle of the fucking floor. And next thing I hear is, Hunter, get up here. Shit.
Did they have your fucking name on it?
Wait. Wait. This is the best part. I get up there, and they take me to like the linen closet, and I'm looking at towels, and they're like, what's in here? I go, nothing. Why? They're like, okay. And then they pull me into my room, and I see the bong on the floor, but they're not even looking at it. And they pull me into the fucking closet. It's literally sitting right there in plain sight.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll tell you exactly what happened in a minute. They go, what's up there? And there's like a crawl space up there, and the door's open. And I'm like, there's nothing up there. What are you talking about? They're like, then why is this ironing board laid out in your bedroom, in your closet? And I go, oh, well, the other day there was a lizard in here, and I actually tried to catch it. It got up there, and I just couldn't catch it. That was the actual reason why that was there.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah? Well, you're gonna climb up on that board. You're gonna pull out that liquor. I go, okay. I climbed on the board and was I'm like, guys, there's no liquor here. And they're like, okay. All right. Well, you have a good night.
That was it? And they didn't even
notice the bong that was there.
Oh, my God.
I have told them both about that since.
Oh, my.
And they were like, you motherfuck.
Thank God. Oh, you got so lucky.
And then they went into the next house and busted everybody. I called the next house and go, they're coming. They're coming. They're coming.
And the British are here. The British are here.
They're coming.
Oh, my God. Terrible. But they couldn't hide. But y'all could have been fuckity Fucksville with the goddamn bong in the middle of the room.
Dude, I know.
Terrible.
I mean, good Lord.
But at least y'all made it out. You know what I mean? So, what has your choice of liquor been over the year? And how has
I
it
have to say it's whiskey, sir.
Whiskey? That's what I thought.
I do declare.
That's what I thought. That's why I tried to be on.
I'm glad you got that bottle. Thank
you. Yeah. I tried to be on point with it today.
Hey, before we go any further, let's just say, go Lions.
Go Lions.
Forward down the field, a Lion team that will not yield.
Yes.
And when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. Rah, rah, rah. Go hard, win the game.
Hell yeah.
With honor you will keep your fame. Down the field and gain a Lion victory.
Hell
Go Lions.
Go Lions, baby.
I was kind of hoping you would actually back me up on that, but right.
I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. I don't know the Lions. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's fine.
I let you down. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. A lot of people don't.
I know that. I barely know that they take me out to the ball game. I got.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But listen, I love the Lions energy, bro. The Lions fans energy. I especially got to feel it last year when you made it to the playoffs. I swear, a blind man could have came in Detroit and be like, "What the fuck? Are the Lions winning or something?" Because I could feel something. I swear to God.
No shit.
I swear a blind man could feel that shit, man. The energy. I swear to God, crime was down. Everyone was just
might be right.
Like, for real. Like, nothing bad was happening during the city when the Lions were in the play. It was the Lions. Like, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they don't have any problems. They're just too busy watching the Lions.
Exactly, dude. It was all too hopeful. Everyone had a little smile. Let
them have their fun.
Everyone had a little pep in their step. I'm telling you, man. It was the Lions winning in Detroit just changes the energy of the city.
And look at the Tigers. Let's go.
Yeah, the Tigers get the
hold on. We
game.
have to talk about this.
Yeah.
This was not in the docket, but we have to talk about it. 2:30 tomorrow, ABC. The Tigers are in the playoffs against the Astros.
How long has it been since the Tigers?
10 years.
Wow.
10 years.
Wow.
10 years.
10 years since
And they were 2%, 0.2% chance at the beginning of August. And we came all the way back. Let's go.
You got to give it to Detroit. Detroit's been...
AJ Hinch, let's go.
That's one of the reasons why I fell in love with Detroit. I hated Detroit when I first got out here. You know what I mean? But
I feel you.
The spirit of Detroit, you know what I mean?
We're a different breed.
The way that they've been like just underdogs and shit. Because I can relate to that. People just counting me out. Not figure shit was going to work out. Figure shit is bullshit. You know what I mean? But you just keep the spirits. Keep fighting.
Absolutely.
Keep fighting. Keep chipping away at it. How could you not root for the underdogs, man? I remember online when you was in the playoffs last year, there was people not in Detroit, not even was still rooting for the Lions because it's such a man, if the Lions win, man, this city's going to get fucked up a little bit.
No, believe me, that's what I said last year.
If this Lions
win,
it's
going to burn regardless.
Yeah, I'm telling you. If the Lions win, it's going off. The cops going to have their hands full.
They're just going to let it go.
Yeah, everyone is going nuts. It's going to go nuts because this city's dying.
I remember when the last time the Red Wings won, the last time the Pistons won.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. When the Pistons won, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And they didn't even play in Detroit.
But I think they beat Kobe and them. I think when
definitely.
They beat
Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah,
the 2004
Detroit
Pistons. Let's
beat
go.
Kobe and Shaq. I'm sure Detroit.
We
was
were the nobodies.
Shit.
See, this is what I'm looking at with our Tigers. They are basically them.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of nobodies. They have 12 rookies on the team, and they're gritting it out.
Yeah.
They could go all the way.
Yeah, they could.
They just, our pitching is great. Our team just needs to just be
coalesce. Just only thing they're missing is the experience of the bright lights and
no, you see, but that's the beauty of it. Like they want it. They're hungry.
Yeah,
they're gritty.
Yeah,
they want it.
Yeah.
Whoever
wants it more, they want the fuck out of it. You know what I mean?
Fuck you, Houston.
Yeah, I'm totally
done.
You're done.
Cleveland,
because Astros, y'all don't want it as bad as the Tigers do.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure we're gonna get the Yankees.
Wow.
If we go through all the way,
man.
Fuck you, Aaron Judge.
Now that's gonna be that's
gonna hit some home runs. Tarek Skubal gonna get your ass.
That's gonna be really compromising for me. I don't know if. That's gonna be really rough for me, man. I don't know if I could root for the Tigers over the Yankees.
Do you like the Yankees or the Mets?
I've been to a Mets game. I've never been to a Yankees game.
Well,
I love the Yankee hat.
So what happened? Wait, we haven't looked it up yet because Atlanta and New York Mets were fighting out. Hold on, let's look this up.
I'd rather the Mets win though.
They might have. They won the first one.
The Mets needed.
They needed. I think they needed 2.
They won at 86 or something like that last time I checked.
No, I understand. Well, the Tigers won at 84. It's the last time they won. I just need to know if the Mets and the Yankees won. Or, I'm sorry, the Mets and the Braves. You got it? Mine's not working. Oh, wait.
I gotta hit 7. I gotta see how he did in there. Oh, got my phone over there. I'm so nervous. I hate being without my phone. I really do hate being without my phone.
Well, you got to get the tether like me. Oh, wait a minute. So I don't know what happens here, but the Braves won.
Braves won? Damn.
So,
damn it.
Wait a minute. Does that mean they're out?
I'm not sure.
Hold on.
I've had fun playing baseball. I've had fun playing baseball growing up, but
I
can never get into watching it for some reason.
I used to be the same way, and then I just became a love of competition. So I would like lacrosse players. Do not like baseball players. But then I started to like baseball.
That's the thing. The competition part. See, I can watch the World Series. The same way how I'll never watch soccer, but I could watch the final round in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But when it's the championship games on the line, I could feel the energy. I could feel the extra effort, and I could lock into that. I could deal with that. But if it's just like the middle of the season type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like some people are half jogging, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't do it for me. But when the game's on the line, it's the be all the playoffs, like that type energy gets me into it. You know what I mean? I can appreciate any athlete, I think, of any sport giving his all at that moment. And they really only do that during playoffs and championship time. You know what I mean? So I think it's the effort, the grit, the fighting for every inch. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. I mean, like, you got to look at, like, I watch every football game, or try to, but there's only 17 games.
Yeah.
Baseball, there's 162. Basketball, hockey, 82.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
82 games is a lot.
That's a lot.
You know,
but at the same time, I don't watch a lot of those.
So, but yeah, let me get through because I got a lot. All right, so, let's talk about your most memorable drinking experiences. What's the worst or wildest story you've ever been a part of?
Oh my goodness! Well, before I answer this question, because I actually did talk to a lot of people at work about this, because I asked this question because I was curious. What's the craziest place you've ever woken up drunk after a night of drinking? I mean,
I've only been blacked out drunk twice.
Okay,
and for me,
I'm glad that we've had a few more drinks for me to tell this story.
Yeah. It was.
I don't think I'm going to go into all the detail about it, but I'm just going to tell you.
It was the time I was at work. I was a bar back. I used to work at this place where we hosted a lot of weddings.
Okay.
And I haven't drank Bullet Bourbon since.
Ooh.
Because at the time
I was his favorite.
Yeah, no. I used to drink Captain Morgan and other liquors. I had access to the whole liquor cabinet. No one was there, whatever. I used to drink Captain Morgan a little bit on my shift. I used to pour like this much in the styrofoam glass and in the cup, and I was good. One day, for some reason, I said, "Oh, I never had the Bullet bourbon before. Let me try the Bullet." I poured the Bullet the same amount. The last thing I remember that night is pouring the Bullet. I can vividly remember pouring the Bullet. I remember that, and then standing on the sidewalk waiting for an Uber. Everything in between that, and I had to break down the bar. I had to ask I was surprised I didn't get a call the next. I thought I was gonna be fired. I didn't know what happened. Like blackout drunk is, people say weed fuck with your memory. I never experienced the amount of memory loss that I did when I tell you, someone could have told me I killed somebody during that time, and I'd been like, maybe I did. Because
you're right.
I don't remember.
You're right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Not
Alcohol
a wink.
will do that to you.
Not a
for
wink.
Sure.
Not a
weed.
nothing.
Definitely not as much. Definitely not as much. It does affect your memory in the sense that you can't remember something in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no.
That blackout, like, there was a good 4 or 5 hours that I just don't remember at all.
So that's you've never woken up somewhere that you were like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna say I can't even remember the second. I know I blacked out again, but I can't quite remember that second time.
I asked this story yesterday to people just to get,
Yeah.
some background and maybe hey, what about you? What about you? I had a couple stories. Like one person woke up in a hotel room that wasn't theirs, and one was I woke up with someone else's pants on.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't even hold a candle to what I'm about to say. So I was living in Pennsylvania, and I moved back to Pennsylvania after I failed out of college. But I moved back there to live with my buddies. Then I ended up moving to live with my grandmother for a minute in Pennsylvania. And then I got my own place. So I'm in Hanover, Pennsylvania.
All right.
Now, can I describe where this is at? So this is at south of Harrisburg, kind of by Gettysburg. It's if you like Shane Gillis, I'm in his general vicinity.
Yeah.
It is Appalachia.
Okay.
All the way.
All right.
Anyway, so I got this apartment, and I know no one outside of coworkers, and my boss suggests that I go to this dive bar that is not very far from where I was at. It was like 2 streets down, 1 street over.
Okay.
From where I lived. So I go there. Sure enough, I get very drunk. And I leave there without my coat. I left the bar blackout drunk without my coat. And I wake up in a steel factory on top of a 40-foot water cooler.
What? A steel factory?
Yeah.
On top of a water cooler.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear to me that somebody helped me get up there.
What?
Yeah, because when I climbed down, I was like, well, the ladder only ends about 10 feet above the ground. Like, somebody clearly helped me get up there.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure it was the third shift workers when I stumbled in there and was like, how do you shelter?
We'll put them in the water tower, bro. We got you.
Hey,
get them up there.
Bro, you should go up there. They probably laugh their fucking asses off. Hey, whoever you are out there in Pennsylvania, at whatever fucking plant
Go
this is,
fuck yourself.
fuck you, dude.
This guy woke up like Trevor in GTA 5.
There are many other details to this story that I would love to share, but I kind of feel like I shouldn't.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to this story, but I'm just going to say.
You woke up on a water tower.
I woke up on a water tower. It was a warm water tower, so I was at least warm. And yeah.
That's
terrible.
Crazy. And at a height, that's a high, like water, that's high. I'm glad you ain't roll over, goddamn it, in your sleep.
No, yeah. It was flat.
It was flat?
Wasn't going anywhere.
All right.
Yeah, thank God. But yeah, no, it was pretty terrible. There's many more to this story, but I do not feel like sharing it.
Yeah, I feel
I'll tell you at work.
That's crazy. You woke up on a water tower. That's
my
crazy.
God. It was inside the building, so I wasn't cold.
All right. But at least they hid you from normal people all the way up there.
At least they did, but I think that they were just fucking with me. Because when I woke up, I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, let's go on.
That's funny as hell. You know what I mean? That's
so wait,
crazy.
are we going to talk about the lax thing?
Yeah. You said that was when you said he was like the most penalized lax player.
Yes, the most penalized lacrosse player. Well. I will say this: being the most penalized lacrosse player in my high school's history does give you the reputation of Happy Gilmore. And
Waterboy.
No, it's not even that. It's Happy Gilmore.
All right.
Waterboy was just like, I'm not retarded. Anyway.
Debatable. No, I'm joking.
Shut up.
Joking.
I'm joking. Fuck you.
Just kidding.
Yeah, well, you're slow. Shut up.
Yeah, I am.
On that note, you fucking ass. Yeah, okay, it's there. I see it.
Yeah.
It's moving.
It's like the Force in Star Wars, man. I'm telling you. You just got to put a little something in it. It'll stop moving.
All right, well, we're going to keep a little something in.
Yeah, that's why I keep this tiny little bit in it. It just keeps
All right, fair enough.
steady.
Fair enough. I didn't know that.
Keeps it steady.
So, no, I was the most penalized lacrosse player in my team's history. Yeah, which is really funny because so I had this coach that told me, if you're not averaging, it was my college coach, the coach that I went to in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So I went to college in Pennsylvania to play NCAA lacrosse after coming off that sweet season and then having a shitty season, but whatever. So he brings me in, I had not great grades. I mean, I was a B- average.
That's not terrible.
B-.
That's all right. It's better than me, I think, in high school for sure.
B- average. But I wanted to play college sports, NCAA. So I got recruited. And one of the funniest things was before I went there, I went on a recruitment visit, and they had this band called Our Lady Peace. I don't know if you know Our Lady Peace.
No.
They're Canadian. Oh, hold on.
Oh, thank you so much.
Whoop, whoop.
Did you get the mic off his chest or not? You still got the mic on him? Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Amazing. All right, sorry about that. Continue.
No worries. So when I went on this recruitment visit, my coach, who was the admissions officer, which was awesome.
All right.
It's like, this is the guy that's going to get you in regardless.
Yeah.
So, he found out about, my school and whatnot, and, was like, oh, all right, yeah, we'll get this guy. But anyway, I go out there, and he tells me before I go out there on a recruitment visit, he's like, we got this band called Our Lady Peace. And I'm like, that's my favorite band. And if you don't give me front row seats to that show, I'm not coming to your school.
Wow.
Yeah, I pulled that card, and I did.
And you got the seats.
Fuck yeah.
You got the seats. Hell yeah. You gotta pull what you can.
I got to pull the card sometime. But you know what was funny was when I went there, I became so the guy that hosted me, his name was Mike. We called him Cheech. Big smoker. Cheech. I love Cheech.
Made sense.
Mike Tomsey from New Jersey. Anyway, he big smoker. Cheech always had a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
I remember when I got there, I became him, and I was like, I host the recruits.
Wow.
I made it a point. I made it a point, and it was hilarious. I got an entire fucking team to come there.
Wow.
I hosted kids, and I just showed them a good time.
Yeah.
I was a wild man. My coach hated me because I got recruitment violations. I got all sorts of shit. Oh yeah, dude. I got suspended for 2 games.
Damn.
Oh yeah,
but the kids wanted to come though because
they wanted to come.
They thought it'd be a good time.
Because I'm like, yo, dude, you got to come here. This place is sweet.
Yeah. But you still got them to come. But
I got them to come, dude.
That's what matters, man. That's what matters. You got it done.
I fielded a whole team.
Damn.
But anyway, where were we going?
I respect the hell out of that. Nah, because it's not easy to get people. Some people that got hired on colleges and teams just to recruit players because attracting talent is a major part of what makes.
My whole thing was I would have them smoke weed. Like, this is my immediate question. As soon as they get away from my coach, do you smoke weed? Do you drink? Do you want to like bang some chicks?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. Yes to all three, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm like, got you, bro.
Got you. Don't worry about it. To have a guy like that.
Sorry, mom and dad.
You're gonna play.
Like to apologize.
You gotta attract
to
the young
a lot
guys.
of people out there. I am not this way anymore.
Listen, those young.
When I was 19 years old, I was a hedonist.
Come on, his brain wasn't even fully grown yet till you're 25. Give him a break. All right, he practically had brain damage. Everyone does at 19. You know what I'm saying? Because the brain's not done growing yet. Your brain's literally not done growing until you're 25.
Carl, shut up. That is not accurate. Anyway, I was just an asshole. It's fine. Let's just soak it up. So you don't have to give me an out. I'm confessing to all my sins. Are you a Catholic, sir? I didn't think so.
No,
it's okay. I'm Lutheran.
That's funny as shit.
I'm Lutheran. And I just so happened to go to one of the only Lutheran colleges in America.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
What you call it? All right, so what's the story behind this triangle you mentioned at MSU?
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Was it something you witnessed or involved in?
I did not witness, but I was told. And this is a good one. And I'm not going to lie. I'm going to need to take this shot for this one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, I was telling a lot of people about this yesterday, and people were like, what? This happened.
This happened.
It
happened. Yeah. Well, whenever somebody got to say it happened, you know it's a doozy.
I was not there. It was told. You know, obviously I can't. You know, but
yeah,
based on what I heard and what I saw, this is one of the most effed up stories I've ever heard in my life.
Damn.
And to your audience, I would like to apologize.
All the kids leave the room.
Yes,
right?
please.
Not,
if there
not
are
that there
children
should be
under
any.
the age of 17, you need to leave.
Yeah, for sure.
You really do.
You shouldn't have been here in the first place. I don't know who all you guys are, but your parents suck. All right, get out of here.
So, I'm at Michigan State. I would go up there. One of my best friends is in med school. I come up there with a couple of my debauchery friends who we're all friends with.
Yeah.
And being him, my best friend, he's like, I got to study. You know, he's always studying.
Yeah.
Like, and we're like, oh man, we want to go party. He's like, well, you guys go party. I'll be here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we go out. We can't find a party. I think it's like Dry Campus Week or something.
Boo.
Something. Boo. You know, whatever.
Sober October. Boo.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Actually, Sober October. Wow. Anyway, so we wander around. We end up coming back to the dorm. We find these girls, and they're sitting out on the stoop, and we're talking to them, and they asked us how our night was going, and we looked at them and go, well. Yeah, we were trying to find a party. You know, we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that. We just, decided to come back. And it was pretty shitty. And they're like, well, it couldn't be as bad as mine. And we're like, okay, well, what happened? This girl goes, and this is how it starts. So I was fucking this guy in this bathroom at this party. And we got done, and we realized couldn't find the condom.
Wow.
And we're like, huh?
Did he wear one?
So then she realizes that it's inside her. And so now they're in the bathroom, and this guy, the guy that she just had sex with, is trying to get it out, but can't get it out. In which I will say of her gaping vagina that apparently is a deep abyss.
Wow.
Can't get it out. All right. Anyway. So, next thing I know, well, what they're telling me, I'm sorry, they go to the bus stop, her and her friend. Not the guy, but her friend. They find another guy. And they explain what has happened. This guy offers up his services.
Oh, yeah, I'll get it out.
Yeah, I'll go get it out.
Yeah, Mr. Helpful.
Mr. Helpful.
Yeah, and he got...
Sure enough, he tries. Oh, fail again. Like I said, deep abyss.
Deep abyss.
Deep abyss. I don't know. Anyway, so can't get it out. Can't get it out again. Now they're on the bus. She calls her fuck buddy. He gives her some suggestions. They get back to the dorm. They get it out.
Okay.
Anyway, this is what she's telling me. So after she's told me this, I look her dead in the eyes and I go, can I just recap what has happened here? She's like, sure. I go, so you were at a party fucking some dude. The prophylactic gets caught up in your vagine.
Yeah.
And now you go to the bus stop and find another guy. Random guy. Exactly. Random guy. They can't get it out. Then you're on the bus. Call your fuck buddy, who's neither of these two. And then you got it out, right? And she's like, yeah, but don't tell my boyfriend.
Who is neither of these three guys.
30 seconds later, hey, babe, what's up? 12-pack of Natty Light in his hand. She gives him a kiss on the cheek. Me and my buddy just look at each other, walked away.
Oh, my God.
You know, there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place. And I hope Adia doesn't watch this, but apparently the time and a place is junior year of Michigan State.
Oh, my God. That's crazy. Fucking, I already don't trust women like that. And now, Jesus. Y'all ain't shit, dog. Sorry. Women ain't shit.
You have no idea. I forgot about that for a long time. And the other night, I just thought about it and I go, oh, I'm going to tell that story.
That's crazy. First of all, how do you let a random guy meet at a bus stop go fish through your vagina to go find? You are a whore. But you know something I learned about that? Women's delusion, bro? I have a girl that's scheduled to come on a podcast this Friday. And if I showed you her Twitter, let me tell you something. She's a stripper at a club. She has an OnlyFans. And if you scroll on her Twitter, you'll see her prices. This for that. So she's literally selling sexual services. And she was agreed to come on a pod, but that was like months ago. And then I hit her up to like, oh, I'm ready for you to come on a pod now. And she didn't respond, kind of. And I kind of got a little tight. So I sent her maybe a little bit of an aggressive message. I was just like, oh, I was trying to show the world that you were more than this, and then you whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then, long story short, in the message, I called her a whore, right? And she responded back to me. So she said, oh, this and that. But she said, I'm not a whore. And I started dying laughing.
Because I'm like, you have money.
I'm like, you are the definition. You're selling your services. You're a stripper. You're on Twitter busting it wide open. And you have the audacity to say you're not a whore. So what is a whore? Please do tell me what a whore is. If it is not you.
Plain.
You know what I mean? But I guess I'm sorry. Lady of the night is what I said. I guess that's the most respectable term I could think of. A lady of the night. That's about the best.
It is.
That's the best.
It really is.
That's the most respectable term.
A lady of the night.
A lady of the night.
It really is.
That's the most respectable way I can say it.
Honestly is.
You know what I mean? But
I've thought about it a bunch.
Like, listen, but you are that. But okay, I'll leave it alone. Anyway, I still got to agree to the pod. To come on the pod. My friend said she's going to have a big brother named Tyrone to come try to be me. I said, listen.
You mean she's getting Tyrone from Instagram?
Yeah, to come. What I said to him
Tyrone.
was, I'm pretty sure every man in her family already disowned her.
That's fine.
I'm pretty sure I got to worry about that. She doesn't have anybody about to come to her defense to come be violent because someone called her a whore after she... Anyway, I just found it funny. It's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? It just showed me the delusion of women can live in.
I do enjoy. I'm glad that you find that insanely hilarious.
Yeah, like how could you? Dog.
It was such a weird moment. Like we literally, me and my buddy looked at each other and just went, and just like walked off.
I feel bad for the bro, dog.
No,
he pulled up with some natty daddy with some natties.
He pulled up with a 12-pack of natty daddies.
First of all, that's nasty work. Natty daddies. First of all, they don't even taste
it was
that
natural
bad.
light. It was natural light.
All right, natural light's a little better.
It was natural.
I would have gave him more respect for PBR though. You know what I mean?
Oh, obviously.
You know what I mean? But
also, I used to drink a natty.
I've drinking natty daddies.
Pennsylvania, we drink natty light all the time.
Yeah, natty light is different.
You don't know shit about natty ice, though.
Nah.
You don't.
I've never had that. I've never had.
You ever drink Yingling?
No, never even seen that.
About Yingling?
Nah.
So when I was
out
in Pennsylvania, it was like, oh, you got a party with a natty light or a natty ice keg. So natty light, it was like, ooh, nice. Then you had, natty ice. Then you were like, oh, eh. But if you had Yingling, oh, everyone was coming to your party.
Wow.
Because Yingling's America's oldest brewery.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pottsville, Pennsylvania, baby.
Wow. All right. Now I feel bad. I gotta learn.
You don't know about that?
Have some Yinglings then. They still sell them, right?
They don't sell them in Michigan.
Why not?
Oh, let me tell you. I'm sorry. I've been rocking around over here.
You good?
Let me tell you about why. So Bell's and the Yingling owner have beef.
Wow.
So apparently, I guess it's getting sold here now, but I don't think it is. Somebody told me it was, but it's not. So
I've never seen it.
The owner of Bell's and Yingling. Hold on.
Bell's and Yingling. That's crazy. I never heard of Yingling. It's America's oldest brewery.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been, bum ass Budweiser or Bud Light. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Which Budweiser is now owned by China, which really pisses me off.
Yingling.
Shout out Yingling. I gotta have a brew of Yingling. This is America's.
I don't like it. It's too sweet.
It's too sweet
for me.
Sometimes sweet stuff hurts my stomach when it comes to drinking. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize until today, because I haven't had Jack Daniels in a long time. There's only some liquors that'll bring back memories for me from my early days of drink, my first times of drinking. Hennessy is one of them. And not till I tasted Jack Daniels today that I realized, as soon as I tasted it, I was like...
Yingling.
I was like, wow. I remember drinking Jack Daniels back in the day. I remember... So Jack Daniels is a nostalgic drink for me, apparently, because I remember... It brought back memories of times I drank Jack Daniels, you know what I mean? And apparently at one point, I don't know, it probably is now, but Jack Daniels was the most sold whiskey across America. The highest, most selling whiskey in America was Jack Daniels.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? I don't know what would take its place now, but especially for the price I paid for it, it should be. With the price, the taste, it's pretty good bang for your buck. You know what I mean? I used to love Captain Morgan, too, for the same reason. But someone said I should try something called... It wasn't Captain Morgan. It was like Sailor something.
Sailor Jerry.
Yeah, Sailor Jerry. Yeah. Someone told me Sailor Jerry. Someone told me Sailor Jerry was better than Captain Morgan.
No.
It's not better than Captain Morgan?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. He told me Sailor Jerry.
It's the cheaper version.
He told me it was.
And it's higher alcohol too. Don't do that.
Don't do Sailor Jerry.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I fucked with Captain Morgan, but
don't do that. Captain Morgan's the shit.
Yeah, I love Captain Morgan, man. For the price, for the taste, I used to drink Captain Morgan straight, and it's fucking good. You know what I mean? I never had
Captain Morgan's great.
I never had Sailor
Jerry is it's like, I drink bad whiskey.
Yeah. Sailor Jerry, first of all, sounds like a knockoff of Captain Morgan. He's not even a captain. He's just a sailor.
He is.
That's
the whole point.
He's not even a captain.
That's the whole point.
Sailor Jerry, who's probably on Captain Morgan's ship, is what he was.
He was a pirate. He took his fucking ship. It's like, Captain Morgan. Well, guess what? It's 9 now.
Yeah, he is Sailor Jerry. That just sounds like a knockoff of
Exactly.
How you go from captain to just a sailor? Like, come on. That can't be better.
He became the captain.
Yeah, I'm the captain now.
I am the captain now.
Yeah, shout out Sailor Jerry. Man, I've never had it yet, but I would give it a shot. But Captain Morgan was lit. I don't care. Captain Morgan was lit. I know you're trying to get out of here at 8:30. You know what I mean? Trying to get out of here when the game starts, but
we can talk more. Let's keep talking.
Yeah.
We can put the game on.
I got nothing but questions on.
And then we can yell at the TV.
I have nothing but more questions left here for you. Know what I'm
saying?
That's
fine.
Right, so another one I have here is what's the most toxic romantic situation?
First of all, I'm not going to talk about that one. So next question. Not going to talk about that one. It's pretty recent, and no.
I gotta admit, my most worst one is kind of recent too. So
we're not going to talk about that.
I'll leave it be. All right,
let's move that on.
All right, so I did have. How do you feel about love? Do you want to get married one day? You say you don't want to get married. You know what I mean? I'll leave that. I'll skip that one. You know what I mean? So the next one, I gotta admit, I gotta take a quick piss break. Just give me a quick piss.
That's fine. We're going to talk about fishing.
Nah, the next one was about the proctologist.
Ooh,
we're gonna get into that. So stay tuned for the proctologist. Give me 1 to 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Cool. Editing magic. I got you.
All good, dude. Actually, where you got to piss? I got to piss.
Hopefully you got enough. You know what I mean? I'll be able to zoom in. Let me see. All right. I mean, it's still got a good amount.
Whatever this is, right, just step to how you want.
All right. My bad. That was just a client. I had to leave my phone there so it could record, because otherwise I'd have been there with him recording or whatever. But whatever. That's not important. Oh, this is your headphones. Or these mine. Wait,
I want to run.
This is yours, I think. I'm gonna say that one's yours. Yep. Awesome. All right, turn this fan down. Actually, turn the AC up.
And now we rage. Would you like a shot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Get it popping.
Let's get it popping. Popping for shizzle. Oh, I thought it was a cork. Ooh, we gonna finish this bottle. Yeah, for sure. That's gonna be a great walk back to the bus stop. I can't wait. Can't wait to fight a bum on the way.
For real, we're doing so damn good with the timer, with everything working, everything's clicking, everything's going great right now. You know what I mean? So we left off in the bathroom break. We were about to talk about the proctologist. You know what I'm saying?
Here we are.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
Back on the game.
I didn't get the list. You know
Ooh,
what
I got the list right here.
But yeah, the top 5 things your dad had to remove from people's. If you don't know what a proctologist is, just go look it up. Because first what I typed in was removes things from people's butts, and then it told me, oh, that's this. So I was like, okay,
no, Carl, that is not it at all. First of all, my dad is a colon and rectal surgeon. He's retired.
Okay.
One of the best. Retired for at least 3 years.
Was he strict? Was he really anal about things? And I'm just
fuck off, dude.
I had to get
yes, he was. Yeah, goddamn right.
He's really anal.
But I will say this. My father was a great man. He always, taught me to be a good person, not take your advantages that you have in life for your own.
Yeah.
He taught me to be humble. So good for him.
Good.
But yes, my father was a colon and rectal surgeon.
Wow.
He was a proctologist. That is the proper term.
Proctologist. I got it there. I shouldn't spell it right.
No, yeah. You had to figure it out. I taught you.
I appreciate that.
At the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
So my father, one of his main things was that he would, colonoscopies, check up your butt.
Yeah.
This and that.
I was supposed to get a
colon cancer. Colon cancer. One of the number one killers
of men.
Exactly. That was my dad.
Kills men more than women. It really does.
Exactly.
It's like our breast cancer.
He would be that guy. So, I was always proud of my dad.
Breathe deep.
But at the same fuck you. At the same time, it's just like, my dad says hand up some people's ass.
Hug your knees.
It's just like clench your butthole.
I had it happen one time. It was a Jewish lady. I was young. I swallowed a piece of glass. I was bleeding. Whatever. Yeah, continue.
So before I go into this story, you know what my first job was? It was not making pizza.
What was it?
I worked at Beaumont Hospital.
Wow.
In the OR.
Wow.
As an OR aide.
Wow.
I was 18 years old, and my job was to literally deliver sterilized equipment and set up carts for surgery, like during surgery. So like every now and then there would be this elevator that I'd sit by, and I would get these sterilized equipment. Mm-hmm. And it would have a number on it. I knew where to go. My dad would fuck with me. He would have some dude, ass cheeks akimbo.
Oh my God.
Hand in his butt. Just like, hey son, let me teach you about the sphincter. As I walk into a room.
Some guy spread eagle.
I hate you. I hate you. And he's doing his job. It's not gay or anything like that. He's literally doing his job, but he fuck with me. Like, don't ever think that my dad's doing this for a sexual reason. My dad was just like, nope, this is my job. It sucks, but yep.
You don't know idea the shit I put up with.
Yeah, all the shit.
I got to deal with these fucking assholes all day.
Fuck you, dude. That's a good one, dude.
Come on.
You're right.
That's right.
He definitely has said that before. Anyway, he's definitely said that one before.
100%.
100%.
He earned the right.
Anyway, where are we going with that?
I think you got to deal with assholes. All right.
So yeah,
funny.
like
the top 5 things you had to get removed.
Oh yes, here we go. All right, so my father, obviously one of the best renowned colon and rectal surgeons in the area of Michigan, Detroit, and even in Ohio and Indiana. Like people would come there and like have my father like fix them. But one of the things that my dad also had to do was remove things from people's asses. just in general, like foreign objects.
Yeah, sex sent me to the ER. He lived it.
Yeah, it was one of those things. It just got to a point where it's just like, I had to ask, Dad, like, what have you removed from a man's ass? He's like, ooh, let me tell you. And, there's some, patient, doctor confidentiality out there. First of all, I don't know any of the names. And my dad is retired. So it's all good. But there have been times. And I used to have top 10. I just decided to go 5.
Yeah.
Just for everyone's sake here.
What sound effect?
That was my...
Your sound effects are hilarious.
Yeah,
It's
my...
From CNN to the womp womp.
That's
my good timing.
Notification.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my father, once upon a time, and my last name is Priest, which I'm not happy about, once removed a dildo from a priest butthole.
See, it must have mean the dildo was too small. Got lost up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too.
Yeah,
and also he's clearly Catholic. Because us the Lutherans, we don't do that. My father is Catholic, which is kind of fucked up.
Wow. He had to remove a dildo from a priest. That's crazy. I don't know how.
That's number 5.
I don't know how many Hail Marys you got to do after that. I don't know how many.
You go to hell after that.
Yeah.
You don't get Hail Marys. You just get excommunicated and go to hell.
Damn. Nah, they get ultimate forgiveness in the Catholic religion. You know what I'm saying? That if there's they're the king of wiping the slate clean.
I'm glad my mother decided that we were going to be Lutheran instead of Catholic.
Yeah, I know almost nothing about the Lutherans.
Oh, yeah, we're kind of cool.
All right.
It's kind of a cool religion. I mean, I don't follow.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't. But, as far as,
cooler than Catholics.
Way cooler.
Yeah.
Way cooler.
Way better rep. Catholics
Very
got an
German.
awful rep.
German, but nice Germans.
Okay.
Not
the mustache Germans, the other.
No. Fuck you.
I'm just saying.
I love my Jews too. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
I like my Jews. Anyway, so
what's the next one? A dildo from a priest butt. That's crazy.
So the next one, actually, I would like to point out that a lot of times, so when I was younger, there are many other stories that I could tell, but I can't because I don't know them very well. But I've been told. It was only in my teenage / 20s, 30s that I started finding out these stories. And my dad was like, oh, okay. So I would like to share this one with you. So growing up in my high school years and throughout my childhood years, probably in the 90s, I had this painting. That wasn't a painting. It was somebody made this graphic, and it had a gerbil with scuba gear on. But the scuba gear,
wow,
the scuba gear was household items, like rubber gloves and a toothpaste tube for a scuba tank, and it was this gerbil dressed in scuba gear. I had all these things, and it just highlighted them, and I never really looked at it. And when I was 18, I looked at it, and at the top it said Richard Gere Survival Kit. Do you know anything about Richard Gere?
No.
Besides being a very handsome man?
No, Richard Gere. No.
You know who Richard Gere is?
I know the name. I feel like I know who you talk about.
Yeah, Pretty Woman, First Night.
I know that guy.
Yeah, you know, the Jackal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Well, apparently he shoves gerbils up his ass.
I heard a joke about that, and gerbil? That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
First of all, you got to be gaping a good amount to get the gerbil. All right, I'm going to leave it alone, but I'm just saying.
Mr. Slave, let's go.
It's a gerbil.
Yeah, go now, young lammy wings, for you're the gerbil king. You made it out of the gameman's ass, and you'll surely sing. Go now, lammy wings, lammy wings.
Did they just die
wings.
every time?
And Mr. Slave's ass, they did. Anyway,
Oh my
I don't know. I don't know. But here's the deal. So my father had this. And once again, this has been in my family for like, at the time, 10 years. And I'd never really read it. And when I figured out what was going on, I finally asked my dad to go, Dad, did Richard Gere ever shove something up, an animal up his ass? He goes, well, that's the rumor, son. But I can tell you this. In the North, they don't do that. In the South, people in the South put animals up their butt.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's nuts.
I know. Just be glad we live up here, dude.
Yeah.
We're a more civilized culture.
Yeah. Them country boys do a lot in that.
And I've seen some country boys, and I've lived in the country life, but no.
Yeah, I had one time, I never forget this. I'll never forget that. I don't know why he divulged this information. I think my car was messed up or something at the time. Bottom line is we had a tow truck. We needed a tow truck in there. We rode with the tow truck guy to our apartment where he was dropping it off. And he was from New Orleans, apparently. And he was telling a story about this white dude he knew one time. He was real cool with him, and he had a farm. And he said, hey, come over to my farm one day, you know what I mean? And hanging out in the barn.
Did he fuck some pigs?
It was a goat. It was a goat. And he said, hey, watch this. And he's like, listen.
That was number 2.
Yeah, he was like, in Missouri or whatever he was at. He's like, yeah, in Missouri, they got strict laws against bestiality. And it's because they got to, like, worry about it.
Yeah,
like,
but in Missouri, they fucking let you buy all the animals. All the crazy animals, like chimps and all the shit.
Like in Texas. Like when I learned, only because of the Tiger King during COVID that I learned this.
Dude, do you watch Chimp Crazy?
Nah.
You haven't seen that yet?
Nah.
Oh, dude, HBO.
But do you know that you know on the thing about tigers in Texas, right? That Texas has more tigers than the whole rest of the world combined.
I'm aware of that, yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Why are there so many tigers in Texas?
Tiger King came out right when COVID started.
Yeah.
And I was like out of a job, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like worried about shit. And I'm like, And then I put on Tiger King, and I went, it's going to be okay.
Tiger King was so fucked up. It was crazy.
It's going to be okay.
But yeah, nah. So besides the gerbil, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with that actor guy. The priest and the dildo.
So we had the dildo, right?
Yeah.
And then we went into Richard Gere. Anyway, okay. So number 4. Let me preface this. So I would go out to dinner all the time with my father, and he would, or go to a game or something, and he would always preface with, hey, I'm on call tonight. I might have to leave.
Okay.
And this is later in my life, so it's like I can get home.
Yeah,
you know? But like I can only imagine. I know some of the things from the younger days, but like these are mostly in the older days. So like I can get home. So one day we're out at dinner. I'm with him and his wife, and all of a sudden he gets a page, and he just comes back and he goes, God damn it. And I don't drive, so like he's got to give me a ride home.
Yeah.
So he gives me a ride home, and on the way to go, what's going on? He goes, God damn it. Some kid shoved an electric razor up his ass. And as horrible as that seems, this is his next answer. Well, it's okay. He put a plastic bag around it, and it's just stuck up there. And I'm like,
so he did it on purpose. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
Why are you? What's wrong with people, man?
Yeah, what?
That's like this thing. That's ridiculous, man. You know, I got this guy. I hope he never watches this. I don't watch it. Please don't watch it, dude. But in my opinion, the only times I've gotten like violent reactions from guys when you ask them, are you gay, is when they're definitely gay, when everyone else knows but them. They're like, and you're like, dude, are you gay? They're like, I'm not gay. Like, I swear to God, bro. And this dude,
because they're gay.
This dude blew up on this guy. Yeah, this dude blew up on this guy at work and almost got him fired because he asked him the question. But dog, he told me that, he was like, yeah, man, my roommates were asking me questions to get to know me because they found my dildo. You know what I mean? And he just like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's just a G-spot. Basically, he was telling me that he diddles himself with a dildo. You know what I mean? And then he wears these tight pants that are like really that show his ankle. And then we'll throw it over. He wears Toms. You know what I mean? No man wears Toms, man. You never know what Toms are?
No, I know.
That cloth. He wears Toms. He has his little ankle showing. And he told me he does himself with a dildo. Listen, you're gay, dog. You're gay. Get over it. But he blew up so bad on this guy.
No, I'm just metrosexual.
Nah, man. Nah.
No, definitely not.
Nah, you wear Toms and you dildo yourself. This is a rap. It's a rap, dog. You need to accept it. You need to just accept it.
Yes.
You know, but anyway,
100%.
And this guy here wrapping an electric razor in a bag.
Backwards, by the way. He didn't put the blade first.
He put the handle first, at least.
Handle first.
All right. At least he had some sense.
He had some sense.
Whatever happened to the handle of a broom or
I don't know, dude.
A comb or like.
Well, it's the vibrations, man.
I see.
Now you understand.
I don't understand, but I understand.
Yes. But you get what I'm saying. Like
terrible.
That's what I said to my dad. I go, why? And he was like, the vibrations. And I'm like,
wow.
So anyway.
Uncomfortable conversations he had to have.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with the next one.
Why is it up your butt?
Let's go with the next one. So I will tell this story that my father told me. This is one of the greatest. He once upon a time had this guy that came in. He had a blow dryer nozzle in his butthole. A blow dryer nozzle. Not a blow dryer. The nozzle.
The little head attachment.
The head attachment. Anyway, so
Jesus
here's what happened with that. This guy, you know, because they come in there and they have to explain what they've done. Just so they can figure out, like, if they have to do anything, you know, otherwise to get it out.
So make them cough twice. Not good.
Yeah, sure, whatever. But, I mean, like, this guy had this blow dryer. So he was drunk and went to a motel and got a prostitute. And for whatever reason, he thought it would be a great idea for this prostitute to shove the blow dryer in the fucking bathroom up his ass. And he got it all the way up there and broke it off in his ass.
Oh, my God.
It didn't come off. It broke off. Yeah, it broke off. So now this man has to come see my father. And my father comes to him, and he's a little sober now. And he's like, you know, I wanted to get a prostitute. I think I want to be sober. My dad gave him like a hard chat, you know. Yeah. The guy responds with, you know, if I was sober, I probably wouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
My dad goes, I guess this gives new meaning to a blowjob.
Oh, my God. Your dad's funny.
My dad's funny.
Yeah. With that line of work,
Jesus Christ, dude. My dad's a funny guy. He's funnier than me.
Oh, my God.
Way funnier than me. I'd love to have him on your show.
Yeah.
He will not do it.
No,
I guarantee it.
My grandfather would refuse. I got to, like, catch him. Like, he got to not know. I got to mic him up. I have a mic there and just have the camera in the corner. Just catch him in the living room. I'd have to, like, impromptu it. You know what I mean? But I would love to get my grandfather on the. But yeah, that older people, they're not really with it like that. But yeah,
no, my dad's funny though. My dad might come on the show. Mm-hmm. I think he'd be like, I'd have to convince him.
Well,
but he can tell you some stories. He can tell you some. He's also. This is not on the list here. My father was Bob Seger's butt doctor.
Bob Seger, is that a?
You don't know who Bob Seger is?
No. That's family. Wait, no.
This is Detroit.
I know the show. I'm trying to remember the show.
No, you're wrong.
No?
Bob Seger is a classic rock artist that is
I'm
very
thinking of Bob
Detroit.
Saget, I think.
You're thinking Bob Saget. Bob Seger. Bob Seger is one of the greatest artists, like rock artists of Detroit.
Wow.
Yeah. And I remember one day coming home. Well, it was Thanksgiving dinner. I go over to his house, and he's like, oh, he's all giddy. And I'm like, why are you so happy? He goes, I got this album. And he shows me a Bob Seger album, and it's signed by Bob Seger. He goes,
wow.
He came in last week. And I was like, oh, shit. You've had your hand up Bob Seger's ass.
Wow.
And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I can't wait to tell my friends.
That's crazy. That's wild.
But here's the best part. Even after that, I continued. I went up. We went up north. He's up there right now, actually. He's up at the cabin fishing. And we were up there. And we were with a buddy of his. And we went to this bar that's close by. And they had karaoke. And I put in a song. I don't really like singing karaoke anymore, but I will every once in a while if the situation's right. But if I sing karaoke, I work the mic.
Yeah.
Like if there's a lead up to something, like it's like 16 bars of just lead up music. Yeah. I'll start talking.
Oh my God.
And I'll lead people. I go, hey, how is everyone's doing? Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're doing good. I'm like, y'all like Bob Seger? People are like, yeah. I'm like, that's too bad. They're like, huh? And I go, I'm not singing Bob Seger tonight, but you see that man over there in that funny ass fleece? That's my dad. And that's Bob Seger's butt doctor. And for that, I'm singing Touch Me by the Doors.
Oh my God.
And I went right into it, dude. Right into it. Come on, now touch me, babe. Can't you see that I am not afraid?
Oh my God, that's funny as shit.
My dad was so mad at me.
Wow.
He was pissed. Like people came up and were like, "Did he embarrass you?" And he's like, "No." And as soon as we got in the car, what the fuck? Why did you say that?
This is a famous asshole that she was dealing with. You know what I mean?
Well, I get it. But like, no one is going to tell Bob Seger about that. No one's telling.
But he's gonna find out now. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's a good clip.
Don't worry, Bob Seger will be dead before he finds out about this.
Or very unable to do much about it, probably. You know what I mean?
Bob Seger won't even care anymore.
Yeah, at that age, he's like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Well, he was a good guy.
He reached the fuck it age, you know what I mean, at that age, you know what I'm saying?
No, seriously.
So
anyway,
what else did one of people's assholes?
All right,
that wasn't supposed to be
so
there.
we did that, and then okay, we got the top two coming up.
Okay.
So before I go into the top two, I would like to explain something. I once asked my father, "What is the craziest thing you've ever removed from a woman's butt?" You know what my father said?
What?
He said, "Nothing new to report there, son. Just cucumbers and dildos." There's nothing.
That's all they shove up there?
Nothing new to report. Just cucumbers and dildos. Like, it's the men. The men that put the weird shit up their butts.
Why?
Straight up, dude. Straight up.
What's wrong with not us, but what's wrong with men?
I don't know, dude.
What? That's crazy.
Seriously. I was like, what? No way. So anyway, next story. Number 2. My dad had a guy that came in with a cold cream jar up his ass. You know what a cold cream jar is?
So not Cool Whip.
No. Cold cream. So it's like a moisturizer / I forget what therapeutic.
A jar?
It's a jar, but it was like, I'll show it for the camera, about this big.
That's a pretty.
That is very wide.
Yeah. What's wrong with you, man?
All right. So here's the deal.
Diddy.
So wait. So here's the deal. So you have to remove that. He had to remove that with the forceps that they use for babies. Like when they, he had to use those. Like he told me that. And I was just like, that's really fucked up. That's wide. And he's like, yeah. Like I don't, and it didn't rip or anything. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay. But here's the craziest part. Behind that, they found a solid rubber ball about yay big. And now brings me to the next point. Do you know what the number one reason why things are up people's butts when they have to go see my dad is?
What?
I slipped and I fell.
That's what they fucking say?
9 out of 10 times.
That's what they say.
It's like 95%.
You don't slip and fall. No. Who's believing
95% of the time, dude. I'm not kidding. My dad goes, yep. And no, we don't believe them.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
No, they don't believe them.
No.
But that is the number one excuse.
I slipped and I fell.
I slipped and I fell. I slipped and I fell.
That's like your wife. Yeah, I tripped. He fell. I had skirt on. It happened. No one ever believed that story. That you tripped and fell. He fell on top of you.
The best part about that story is like the cold cream jar. They didn't know about the ball because the ball was the same density as rubber, was the same density as skin. They couldn't see it.
X-ray wise.
They couldn't see it X-ray wise. So they didn't know it was there. So they removed this jar and then it's just like
fucking ball comes
out.
Night, it's like, what the fuck else is in there? Like, Jesus Christ.
Exactly. Yes, what the fuck? I will tell you another story that before I get to number one that did not involve my father, but had once again on call. Once again on call. We went to the Detroit fireworks when we were at Rooster Tails. So we're way, way up the Detroit River, out in like St. Clair. And like all of a sudden he gets a page and he goes, God damn it. And like I'm like, fuck. All right. So I started trying to drink all my beers real quick because I'm thinking I'm about to leave. He's going to go to the hospital. He goes, no, son, we're not leaving. And I go, what happened? He goes, some kid shoved a golf ball up his ass. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what are you going to do? But he's like, I'm calling Dr. Peoples. And she's going to deal with that shit. I'm not leaving now. And I'm like, well, Dad, if he had that far up his ass, imagine how many other golf balls he had up his ass. He probably had like 4 or 5. And he's like, you're probably right. I'm like, oh, fuck.
So then he decided to go handle it?
No, he didn't handle it. No, we hung out. Fuck that shit. Dr. Peoples can deal with that.
Yeah, he's shitting out golf balls. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. The fact, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of got me mad that a bunch of men be shoving up their
you
ass.
have no idea, dude. This is a man's problem. Women do not have this problem.
They cucumbers and dildos.
Have this problem. They have dick-sized stuff
random
in their vaginas and assholes. That is what they do. We apparently, as men, like heterosexual, homosexual men, I don't know. I couldn't call it either way. Just like to shove stuff up their butts.
That's crazy.
And I haven't even gotten to number one.
That's crazy. And he said some kid.
Are you ready for crazy? Are you ready for crazy?
What's number one?
All right. So I have to preface this story before I go into it. My brother has nothing to do with this. But this is the start of the story. My brother was waiting at Eastern Michigan when he was a freshman in college. And my father was supposed to pick him up from college to bring him home during a break. He was 4 hours late. My father finally showed up to pick up my brother. My brother was pissed off. My dad handed him a jar with a baked potato in it and said, son, I had to remove this from a man's ass.
Handed him a jar with a baked potato in it. So the baked potatoes were removed from the ass, not the jar.
Not the jar. The baked potato.
Why are you putting a baked potato? What's wrong with people?
Wait. Did I get to the point where if you remove something from a man's ass, you have to ask them if they want it back?
Really?
That is a point too.
No, it should be like you get your shit taken in school. No. We confiscate. You don't get to get it back.
No. I mean, I'm sure there's 1 out of like 100 that it's just like, oops, sorry. Like, yeah, I kind of want that back, but no, like you shouldn't.
You should put it up on a mantle.
No, seriously. But yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. You have to. My dad told me that you have to ask them if they want that back because it's their property. It's up their butt.
I guess it is their property. I guess. But jeez, man, that reminds me of this joke that this guy had told one time on this thing I was learning about the art of storytelling, whatever. He said he he goes to a bar and he's only him there and some older man drinking alone, some older man. And he's like, you see this, the older man starts talking to him randomly, like, you see this bar right here? I built this bar with my bare hands. Did they call me Byron the bar builder? No. You know what I mean? You see that wall out there, that cobblestone wall? I built that wall myself, stone by stone, found all the stones and put them all there. You think they call me Byron, the wall builder? No. There's a pier out there. I built that pier myself. I had to move the sand to build it out there. Did they call me Brian the pier builder? No. But you fuck one goat. Right?
Well, if you fuck one goat, then
now
you're a goat fucker.
Goat fucker.
Well, then you're a goat fucker, dude.
You fuck one goat. He's like, nah. You're Byron the goat fucker. Nah.
What the fuck?
He was so big. It's so funny.
Well, you know, back in my day,
we
used to fuck goats. It was okay.
That's ridiculous. That's
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
You know what my dad used to do? Oh, I already told you. He used to the first job? Yeah. Scrub up, son. Let me teach you about the sphincter. My dad used to try to embarrass me in ways so many times. It was hilarious. It was like,
that's crazy. Your dad had a hell of a job.
He's a hell of a man. He's doing great right now.
I tell you.
He's living his best life, just going fly fishing and like all places.
He's been fishing his whole life.
Oh, dude.
Fishing stuff out of it.
I will tell you. I'm gonna bonus story right here. Bonus story. I gotta add this, and your audience is gonna love this one. Chris looked at me and went, "Why the fuck did you say that?" But I'm like, okay. One day, my parents, they were divorced.
Yeah.
So I went to my mother one night a couple of years ago. No, it was a year ago. Mm-hmm. We went out to dinner for my birthday, and we were at Voyager in Ferndale.
Yeah.
And my dad, being a proctologist, I always wondered about anal sex.
Wow.
So I literally caught my mom off guard and go, "Dad ever fuck you in the butt?" And she was like, "No.
As if she would admit to it.
I wouldn't let him do that." And you know what I told her? I go, "I love fucking women in the butt."
Wow. You told your mom that?
Yeah.
That's ballsy. That's crazy.
I'm not old enough. I can tell her whatever the hell I want.
I've only ever done it one time, and it was not.
She had a good laugh about it.
Yeah. It was not.
I said I get it from my daddy.
Yeah. Listen, I was going up there once one way or another. I was getting in there. You know what I mean? I want to ask him how he feels about eating ass. You know what I mean? Like,
you see, I don't eat ass. No, I don't eat.
I wanted to ask him how he felt about that. If he feels like,
him? Yeah, he would say no. Yeah, I know he'd say no.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I wanted
never asked him, but I know he'd say no. But booty hole sex, yeah.
Oh my god, boot hill sex. Well, booty hole. I think you said boot hill. I'm about to say, what the fuck is going on? Jesus, someone's getting mad. Boot heel. I was like,
what is this, the Marines?
Yeah, what the fuck? That's what I think of though. My friend said, because I only saw this on the screen one time when I shouldn't have. Yeah, about the end. But he said he put his foot on a girl's head in doggy style. He got problems.
Oh no!
But I think of boot heel sex. That's what I think.
Jesus!
That's boot heel sex.
No, I don't do that. Like, Lord,
she's a human. That guy, he has problems. He has problems. You know what I mean? Speaking of fishing and things, I mean, you say you're generally good at fishing. Any big fishing stories that you want to tell?
Well, I remember I told you about that hurricane. We were talking about that before the podcast.
Yeah.
During that time, I caught a 12-foot marlin.
Damn.
When I
12
was
foot?
12-foot marlin. I mean, marlin, they're really big, but like I caught a white marlin, so it was probably like 120 pounds.
Jesus.
But yeah, I was
120-pound fish?
Dude, they
That's
get up
fucking
like
crazy.
other marlin get up to 1,000, dude.
I gotta go fish a marlin. Can we eat them?
Yeah, you can eat them, but we couldn't eat them at the time.
Eating forever on a 120-pound fish.
But I mean, like, I go. My dad's up right now and fishing for salmon. I want to get some steelhead to bring it to the restaurant.
The first fish I ever caught in my life, and I've only been fishing twice, and I've only been fishing in Michigan. So it's happened like a year. The first fish I ever caught was a bass, but it was a tiny bass. It was only maybe a foot and a half. No, not even. Maybe 1 foot or 7 inches, something like that, between the foot. And problem was it was in a man-made pond. Jesus Christ.
That's just today.
That's today. They're probably not going to see it. But that's a big ass fish. That fish that's just bigger than my thigh, bro. That's bigger than my thigh. That's
a big salmon. I'm not gonna lie, that really is.
That's not a salmon.
That is a salmon.
That's a salmon.
Chinook salmon.
That's a salmon.
Chinook salmon. So when they go up the rivers, they turn that color.
No, it's not the color. I'm surprised, but I know salmon get that big.
Dude, they get even bigger. That's not even that great.
I need to go fishing. I want to eat one of these motherfuckers.
That one's even bigger.
Damn.
Yeah. I took Chris and Kevin up there.
Do you get to eat those?
I wouldn't recommend eating those.
Why not?
Because they're in the river. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain a nice situation with the salmon. So, here's the deal. You catch a salmon in the lake, delicious. Once they start swimming upriver to spawn, their whole insides turn into either eggs or semen. You don't want that because they are basically moving upstream to spawn and then they die. So their whole insides are just turning into awful. So if you catch somebody says, I caught this salmon in this river, just say, no, don't eat it.
But salmon in a lake.
In the lake, hell yeah. Lake or ocean? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that. I don't eat.
Not river salmon.
No. Like they're great to catch. They're fun.
Like, I imagine they get bigger when they're ready to die.
No, they're not. They're really they're big they're as big as they are
in the lake.
Swim up. Yeah.
Damn.
So they go from silver, right? In the lake they're silver, and then they turn into that. Like they change. That's a lake salmon that moves upstream. They don't live in the rivers.
They only go up there to spawn and breed.
Yeah. And then they die. So I'm going to go up there in November, and all those salmon that were there, they're going to be dead. Like dying.
In the bottom of the ocean.
Literally just on the river, dead salmon. But what's cool is steelhead. You don't know about steelhead.
Yeah.
Rainbow trout.
Yeah.
So a rainbow trout that goes from the river to the lake and then comes back like a salmon is a steelhead. They're huge. They're big. They sometimes hang out there. They sometimes go back. They just do this thing. There's rainbow trout. They hang out in the river. Steelhead is like a subdivision. They go back and forth. I will be there at the end on probably November.
Is it good to eat trout? Trout's good to eat?
I'm going to bring some steelhead back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we have at our restaurant.
Yeah. That's not the bronzino?
No, it's the trout.
Oh, you do sell trout.
Trout.
You sell trout.
Carl.
Yeah.
It's not the bronzino. It's the trout.
Damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, I got to.
And also, those trout are bullshit. I catch trout like that every day when I'm up there. No problem. But they're brown trout, though.
I'm going to go fishing because
you should come fishing, man.
I'm going to eat the fuck out of them fish, dog. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to eat the fuck out of them fish.
You got a car?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, let's go fishing.
My little bum ass Jeep got a 4x4 too. It'll handle a little off road. It'll do the shit.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Well, let's go fishing, dude. I got waders for you.
Oh my god.
We can go fly fishing. We can do everything.
I've only been fishing twice, and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. It was something evolutionary. I still never got to go hunting yet, but I remember they said that with hunting and fishing is like a reward pathway built into the male brain.
One time I've been hunting.
One time?
One time.
How was
One time.
Did you kill anything?
So I was 14.
Oh, you was young. All right.
I actually had just had oral surgery, so like my whole face was swelled up on one side. It was pretty wild. Whole face swelled up. And I went out to Pennsylvania for Thanksgiving, and my uncle, who's a big fly fisherman, big hunter, he took me to his like ranch where they just procure. Yeah. It was weird. It's like I wasn't like free range hunting.
Yeah.
Like we paid for the birds.
Wow.
And they threw them out like on a spot of land. And like I could see it. It was kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but kind of cool too. Like, so they would throw these, like we had chuckers and pheasant.
Yeah.
They just throw them out there. And they like did a thing where they disorient them, like they'd whip them around and throw them out there. So they were like, I feel really bad about this actually. Like it was kind of like, okay. Like kind of like
pheasants in Red Dead Redemption. Good.
So they put all these like they had like 8 birds in this area, and I just killed them all.
Wow.
I killed all of them.
Wow.
Like I got them all. But the worst part was they had my uncle named his dog after me, so it was named Hunter.
Wow.
And his bad dog. He was not a good bird dog. So I'd be yelling at him, and I'd be waving my shotgun around, like, "Oh Jesus!" Like my dad's hitting the ground, my OC's hitting the ground.
Hell
like,
yeah!
What are you doing? And I'm like, "You were yelling at me." Like I didn't get it.
That's crazy.
You know, I'm still on like painkillers from like getting my tooth removed.
That's crazy. Yeah, but that's dope. But there's definitely a reward pathway for fishing because I'll never forget the first time I felt the tug on another end of the line. Like this shit, like I was like,
the tug is the drug.
Yes, that tug. I was like, oh, I got it. That was one of the most excited I ever got in my life.
The drug.
I was everything in me was lighting up, bro. I was like, oh, I got it. Oh. I was so excited. I was like, not much in life has ever excited me to that level.
So hard.
Not much in life has excited me to that level. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like an evolutionary excitement. You know what I mean? Evolutionary excitement for real.
The tug is the drug.
It is. It really is. Because you feel it. And it's like, I think it's because when that happens and you get it, bro, your family's eating that night. You know what I mean? Like, that's survival. Like,
dude, I took Kevin and Chris up there. Oh, boy. Kevin has still not caught a fish up there, but Chris caught one. Oh, my God. It was bananas.
Yeah.
It was bananas.
I'm sure he felt great. You can't not feel great getting a fish.
He still talked shit.
Yeah.
And also, Kevin's been up there like 4 times more than Chris.
He still never caught a fish?
Never caught him. He got one. And I snatched it out. And it was like, it was like this big.
Yeah.
But I snatched it out of the water. And I'm like,
At least you got something.
I mean, cool. But still, Chris caught way more fish.
Wow. I learned it takes patience. You can't be moving around too much.
You can't.
You got to be quiet.
You got to be quiet.
But
it depends on what you're fishing for. So if you're going for like trout, especially like fly fishing, like if you're out there and like it's skinny water, like shallow water, you got to like creep.
Yeah.
You got to creep. But like otherwise, like most water, it's like, oh, big water, sure. Okay, whatever. But yeah, like it does get to that point. You have to like trout are the smartest of all the fish.
Wow.
I will say that. Like you want to catch bluegills, you want to catch bass, whatever. I'll catch bluegills and bass no problem.
Yeah.
Like, shit on them. But, like, you want to catch, like, trout? You gotta be smart about that.
Trout, the smartest of the fish. Interesting. You know what I mean? All right, so last one I have here.
It's not even about the smartest. It's about they have the best vision. So they know that you're there. So they evacuate. So it's not even about being the smartest. It's about they can see what you're doing. So they see you and they just, boop, gone.
Yeah. You spook them. That's the thing. Spooking the fish. That's the thing. Spooking the fish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, they're easily spooked. That's what I heard. I heard somebody talking about deer, how deer have like a 6th sense. I remember Joe was talking about how the deer damn near dodged his arrow. Like he had it, he shot it, and the deer fucking ducked his arrow. Like so some deers are really fucking.
Well, you know what's funny about my place? So my place, we have a lot of deer. We call them the children. My dad puts out corn. So we have this roundabout at our cabin. It's dirt road. This little grove of trees. My dad puts out corn for them. And they've kind of figured out when we're there. So one day we come back from a long day of fishing, and I'm like, all right, Dad, go inside. I'll put the corn out. And as soon as I get the corn, I put it in my bag, I turn around, and there's 12 deer standing outside. And they're all looking at me, and I go, hey, guys, I got your food. Back up a little.
Yeah.
And, of course, they run away as soon as I move. But they run away, and I put it out there, and they come back immediately.
Yep.
Yeah, we call them the children. So
That's
we have
funny
12. We have 12 deer, 2 bucks, a couple of does, and their kids.
They must not be allowed to hunt them because otherwise they'd be dipping. They're so
No,
funny.
we can't. Well, actually, I could hunt them on my property. I could.
If they're on your property.
I could, but we don't hunt.
Nah. Man, but all right, so I'm ending with these last ones here. Last ones leading to the last ones. So what do you credit the Lions' recent success to? Do you feel like it's Dan Campbell or you feel like it's something else?
Well, I think it's Dan Campbell. I think it's, what's our GM's name?
Yep, the team, the partnership they have. I forgot his name.
Yeah, our
but
GM.
the black
Our
dude,
GM
so.
is fucking making the great moves.
By trusting his head coach in a lot of ways.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, at first when we got Dan Campbell, like when he was talking about kneecaps and all this crap, I was like, God damn it, this guy, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then he sucked. And then, you know, last year when we made that run to go 9-8.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, the year before, 9-8. And then all the way, like, I think, you know, Dan Campbell is the man.
Yeah. It's hard not to come to that
him.
Conclusion, yeah. And he's fucking ballsy as hell. You know what I mean? He keeps people who shit on him because of that. Whatever, he goes for it on 4th down or whatever. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
No, I don't care. He's like Riverboat Ron. Let's go.
Hell yeah. So if you had to give a shout out to the Lions, all right? I'm trying to get them out there for the Lions game, right? But listen, if you had to give advice to your 20-year-old self, what would you say?
Well, I would say stop drinking so much and you know, go back into broadcasting.
Go back into broadcast.
That's what I would say.
For sure. But
either way.
Yeah. I hope you live a very, very long life.
I hope so, too.
I hope you get to be like 90 years old or 85 or 100 and you're somewhere to talk.
I kind of hope I don't.
You never know. With technology, 90 might
I mean,
you
I
never
don't know.
Maybe cyborg, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, if you were 90 years old and for some reason you were talking shit, you know, back in my day, you know, you were talking shit about being on the pod in 4K or whatever, and you were actually watching this episode back as a 90-year-old hunter, what is a message you want to say to a 90-year-old version of you looking at this?
Well, I hope I live this long. And if you are alive, myself, awesome sauce. Let's rock.
Let's rock. 100%. Well, thank you very much for coming on the pod, man. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Carl.
There's a lot of places you could have been, but you chose to show up here, and I really do appreciate that.
I'm missing the game right now just for you. You know that? It's already started.
I appreciate the sacrifice, you know what I mean? But look, you're about to get to it right now. I'm about to end it right now. But look, you know what I always tell you guys? There's a lot of places your ears could be. I'm honored they chose to be with me. When in doubt, use calm honesty to express your vision. And most of all, Thanks for listening.